Good morning, everybody. Before we begin today, we just wanted to take a moment because today is Remembrance Day.
Here in Canada, November 11th is a day to remember the people who gave their lives so that we can have the freedoms that we get to enjoy here in Canada. And so the tradition is that we have a moment of silence.
Yeah, a lot like the section that we're about to read, there's a lot of soldiers in these conflicts that do not choose the conflict that they're in, but they still give their all for us.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important for us on days like today, just take a moment to really sit with the memories of the people that we've lost and with the people that we never knew who still gave so much so that we could have days like today where we get to sit and enjoy book club.
Including Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope that you all join us. We're going to take a moment of silence, and then we're going to play the intro, and we'll get into the show.
Thanks.
Shall we? What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarouse.
And this is the Nerdy, the Wordy, the Book Club.
Let's go.
Welcome back for The Path of Daggers, chapters 15 through 24, as we continue our journey through the 8th book of Das Wheel of Time.
Who was I talking to? I was like, I was talking to Monkey about us playing the Wheel of Time Civilization mod.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yeah, you can't play Matt until after Knife of Dreams. And I was like, isn't that what we're reading? Something about a short stabby stick. It's like, no. It's the Path of Daggers and the Knife of Dreams. They're different utensils.
Yes, they are. What's on my... Oh,
There's a shirt on your chair.
Wow. Yeah. Blue, thank you for joining back with the Narcs for 11 months. And then, holy crap, gifting 20 nightly memberships. My blue.
Best color. I don't know if you noticed that we painted, but
yeah, we're fans of the blue.
Yeah, we are big fans of the blue. Good morning, guys. I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday.
Project Myrtle brings up that their father passed away from the cancer that they got at Camp Lejeune. So many soldiers die from the invisible wounds that wars cause.
Yeah.
That is so true. And I think that when we do have opportunities where we can call our senators, where we can pressure them, particularly, I know in the United States recently there has been a lot about the trash pits and the damage that trash pits have done to the health of veterans. I think that, it is a very small thing that we can do for veterans, but we should give them the best healthcare and honestly housing. There are far too many homeless vets in the United States. So if you do have the opportunity to write a letter to your senator, give them a call, tell them that is something that matters to you. It's something that matters to me, definitely. And that is something that we can, keep our energy towards and keep our minds on and not only remember them on Remembrance Day.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all trying to be the best humans that we can be, and that means compassion towards others. It's just something to remember.
Your eyes are very puffy today.
I know, guys. We saw Black Panther yesterday.
And we both cried a lot.
Yeah. But, my eyes are, literally swollen. I look like I'm, high, but I swear I'm not.
Ferda Wound says Nerdy is going to regret that shirt later. I'm wearing this because Cat Swain is not in this section. And so
it's safe.
Well, and I didn't want to forget about her. You know what I mean? I want to remember that Cat Swain sucks.
Of course.
Even in a week where we didn't get any of Cat Swain sucking.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
Welcome to the live show, guys. We are talking about the Wheel of Time. If you didn't know that, I don't know why. You know what? Welcome on in. If this is the first one that you're watching, why not?
Book 8.
Book 8.
The
middle section of, we almost hit we hit the 3/4 mark. There's not much left actually for next week's section. So I have a feeling it's going to be jam-packed full of things.
Yeah.
For us to talk about.
The splits are chosen by our spoiler chat in the Discord. So if you've read all the books and you want people to talk to who know everything, unlike us idiots, definitely go in there. But they choose it based on how much we're going to have to talk about each week.
Yeah.
And I feel like they do such a good job, but it makes me nervous whenever it's a short section and I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen?
Yeah, no, you guys crush it. And special big thank you always to our mods. You guys are fantastic. And I feel like I got like sidetracked, but Blue, thank you so much for 20 gifted subs. That is incredibly kind of you.
We appreciate the heck out of you.
Yes. Enjoy those memberships, guys.
Speaking of appreciation, Colonel Sanders asks, but does Cad Swain swallow?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah, she's like 400 years old. She doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
At that point, you're like, whatever.
She's here for a good time, you know?
She's done too much. She's done too much for her to, like, get squeamish. You know?
Smut corners at the end.
Cad Swain is not squeamish. This is a good time to mention that this podcast is brought to you by Audible.
Uh-huh.
Audible is a service that allows you to listen to other people read because you never learned.
Yeah. If you woke up and you decided, you know what, today I hate reading. Burn books, they're weird corpses of trees that have been pulverized and shipped out en masse, then Audible is a good solution for you.
Yeah, if you can't read, if you're like Tarzan and you're like trying to learn, Audible is great. You can hear Jane, but it won't be Jane. It'll be someone else.
Most likely.
Probably. I don't think a fictional character can read an audiobook.
I was going to say, the person who voiced her might have also voiced audiobooks. You never know.
That's true. We could get Tarzan audiobooks voiced by Jane.
I'm just saying.
Cute. I'll go to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly for your 30-day free trial plus, y'all, free audiobook. Some audiobooks are like $110, and you can get it faux free on these two dum-dums.
Yeah.
audibletrial.com/nerdynightly. Listen to dead books. Dead trees.
Dead trees.
Yeah. Clarus, we are now 3/4 of the way through Path of Daggers. We're going to be done another book in the Wheel of Time on Friday next week.
Which it feels weird.
I know, we're getting too close to the end.
But we're not even close to the end. You know what I mean? Like, it is very strange. I feel weird about it.
It's like we're moving forward, but we're not moving forward.
Yeah.
Well, we keep moving forward, but like the goalpost at the end keeps moving further away at the same speed. So it just kind of looks like we're not moving at all.
Yeah. I feel very conflicted about it. But I quite liked most of this section. Mm-hmm. Overall, some really interesting stuff in there. I'm looking forward to what the finale of this book is.
Yeah. Not to jump ahead too much.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that in this book, Robert Jordan will allow us to know what's wrong with Saidin and Saidar, or is this going to be an Asmodean situation where it's like it mattered, but like fuck, I have no fucking clue what's going on.
No, it's gonna be at least a book before we resolve that.
Josh Demko, thank you for being a narg for 4 months, my dang dude.
Welcome to the nerd table. I will forgive you for that one.
Yeah, there are still people who are like, I really hope you guys finish it, and I'm like, we've come this far. Why would we stop?
Guys, we are committed to the cause.
We've been doing this for 11 months.
Yeah.
11 months of book club. That's crazy.
Yeah, this time last year we were watching the show.
Yeah.
Because I think it like dropped mid-November.
And hopefully this time next year we've seen season 2. I saw a tweet this week where someone was like shit posting, and they posted that they're like, breaking news. It's being reported that Wheel of Time season 2 is coming in 2026. And my butthole fell out of my body for a second, then got sucked back up. I was
like, wait a second, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We also we treated ourselves a little bit. We ordered a map.
We did, yeah. We ordered a carved wooden 3D map of Randland.
Yeah.
That's gonna live on the wall behind us on the set.
Yeah, this is not final. We still have our nano leaves that we want to put up. We have some more sound paneling that we want to do for this room, but that's. If you want to talk about that, come back on Monday for the morning show.
Spooters is still waiting for me to rate Rattata, but I don't know what I'm rating Rattata on.
Is that when you did the
like smash or pass? Because I would pass Rattata.
Is that, remember when you did the I'm talking about all 151 Pokemon? You started doing like a TikTok series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got through like 25 of them.
Yeah,
I got pretty far.
Yeah.
And then
you're like, I'm done.
Nobody watched them.
Yeah.
Like they just got like no views.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring that back. Maybe I'll finish it.
Who knows? Pokemon's coming out, so.
Scarlet and Violet, y'all. We will be. I will be live after book club next week. I have to go buy my new Switch because I am getting the limited edition Pokemon Switch. Because
nerd.
I'm a nerd. But then next Friday after book club, if you want to come hang out, I will probably be playing Scarlet and Violet all night. So
probably. It's either going to be Pokemon or God of War this month. So
I don't have time for both. I think I might. I might hold off on God of War till next year. I think I might do a fresh playthrough of God of War 2018 again first off stream.
Okay.
Just to like fully, because I haven't played it since 2018.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Stop distracting me.
What?
Can you like hit the ADHD switch to off for like 3 hours?
That was not my fault. And
All
no,
right.
I can't. It doesn't work like that. It's what the people are here for. For us to be like, does Cat Swain swallow? Sorry.
We are answering the important questions.
These are.
That you can only get from two bisexuals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys, we're here. We got you. Don't worry. All right. Chapter 15.
Stronger than written law. After not seeing her for the first half of the fucking book.
And yeah.
Egwene shows up.
Quite a bit of the previous book, I think. Like, she was like mid last book. Because she
was mid? I thought Egwene's story was pretty good last week.
Sorry, I mean in the middle. That's...
The English language is stupid now.
Dumb. I hate it.
Egwene wakes up in the middle of the night. And she's like, I can't remember my dreams. And that's strange, because I can usually remember my dreams, because I'm a dream walker.
And you're like, I can't relate.
And I was like, fuck, Elaine, what did you do? And then Halima's like, I live here now. And I was like, fuck, Elaine. God damn it, woman.
Egwene.
What?
You said Elaine. I've done it many times as well. It's fine. I understand.
I
understand.
Dyslexic. I am dyslexic.
Yeah.
But the one thing she does remember from her dream is that Rand is wearing different masks. But then one of the masks becomes a real person. Do you think that...
Lews Therin?
Do you think that this is confirmation of my theory that Lews Therin Telamon will become a blood and body separate person?
You know what? I'm going to say it's not confirmation.
So you're going to say nothing.
Yes.
So you're going to...
Exactly.
You're going to not participate in the conversation.
No, I think that, like, I don't know. I still don't know if that's... That one seems a little weird to me, but then again, we do have, like, the heroes of old and the Horn of Valir, so maybe it's not that weird. I don't know. I just don't know how you would work that in. But then again, we have, like, 8 more books. So.
Brigitte got magic pulled out of the dream world into a body. So
you're right.
I feel like the precedence for the possibility of it happening, not crazy.
No, it's not. It's just, I don't know how... Yeah. At this point in time, I don't know how that would work, but hey, probably there's a Terangrial that would do that. Like...
Ember Eyes says, no more is everyone is Lanfear. Now everyone is Elaine.
Everyone is Elaine. That's correct.
Jameson, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you so much.
Guess who's the best? Cat Swain. She's not in this section. Why are you talking about her? And you guys, it will be nice watching live today. Thanks again. Of course, James.
Thank you for being here.
I hate Halima, but I hate Egwene even more for trusting anyone like this. Being like, that woman is getting rid of my headaches that I don't know where they're coming from. And I'm like...
Okay, here's the thing. You're in Egwene's shoes, right? This woman can't channel. You know that. You can't sense
I get why
her.
she's making this mistake.
But she doesn't, like, trust Halima with, like, information, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's like having, like, an on-hand, like, masseuse or, like, physiotherapist.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I don't actually... Like, at first I was like, what the fuck? Why is she there? But then I was like, it's not actually that weird.
It is weird to have a live-in masseuse.
Well, when
if
you're
you have a live-in masseuse, that's...
I mean...
You're a rich girl, and you've gone too far.
I just mean, they're in a
just
camp,
really quickly.
Yeah.
MJ Bull says, can you divide a soul? And Voldemort says yes. Go on.
Voldemort says yes. Yeah, because they're in, like, a camp that's, like, constantly traveling and moving... It's not that weird to me, but at the same time, I'm like, Egwene, no!
Here's the thing. From Egwene's perspective, I totally understand it.
Yeah.
From my perspective of knowing that Halima's a freaking Forsaken, I'm just like, girl, what are you doing?
I know.
Methany!
Sammy, thank you for the super chat.
Sammy is dyslexic as well, so she loves Cat Swain. Do you think that there's a Wheel of Time for cats?
I would love an adaptation of the Wheel of Time, but it's just all cats.
Because jellicles can and jellicles do. Jellicle cats and jellicle rans. Jellicle pear and jellicle Matt. Jellicle Egwene, jellicle Elaine.
Oh my god.
Jellicle Nynaeve is the meanest cat.
Well, that's our parody song for Dusty's competition.
But we do the entire... He's like,
No, we will-
submit a song, and we submit the entirety of
We'll
cats.
do the whole musical with the face paint and the spandex onesies, the whole 9 yards. You will do the lifts. I'll learn how to fouette. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Can you imagine? Loose therein, Telemon was the dragon reborn.
Oh my god. And there isn't any need for you to doubt it. Oh, we can make this work. We can make this work.
If you offer me a Trolloc, I'd rather kill Madrol. If you offer me a doll, then I'd rather kill a Trolloc.
Wow, guys, you are witnessing brilliance.
Rand's
here.
cat face paint is the half white, half black, and it like swirls over his eyes.
Yeah, he's got the this going on.
Oh my god, I want to design all of the Wheel of Time characters as cats from the musical Cats.
I wish I could draw. You know what I mean? My life would be so much easier if I could draw. God damn it.
Moradin's the mystery cat.
Are you gonna Photoshop out the taint?
Moradin is McCavity.
And you know that Lanfear is what's her the one that Taylor Swift did in the movie? Sings.
No, that has to be Graendal. Because she has the catnip that makes everybody like...
Oh, yeah, the catnip. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
So who is ineffable?
McCavity, that's Moradin.
That's Moradin. Gotcha.
Ineffable. Oh,
I'm
my God.
Sorry. We got extremely meow rain damage.
Meow rain.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, that is the funniest.
Meowsamon. God, I can't.
That is so funny. Photoshop out the taint is such a good joke, Sex Monkey.
Bomballerina. That's it. Thank you. I was like, I know she has a name.
Oh my god. Who's Grisabella then?
Grisabella?
Yeah.
Would be probably Cat Swain. Like, I don't know.
Touch me! It's so easy to leave me! Cause I'm 500 years old!
Randall Thor the Catacarn.
The Catacarn.
Oh,
this is off the fucking rails.
I'm sorry. Wow. Okay.
Guys, we're only like 17 minutes into the show and we have fully derailed.
This is all Sammy's fault. I blame
That is
Sammy.
so funny. I want
oh my God.
the Wheel of Cats musical so bad.
Yeah, this is... Hi, Ellen! It's nice to see you. Anyways. Oh
my God.
Yeah, gosh.
Purrin.
Wow.
Purrin. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Matt is Grisabella. And he sings Memory.
Matt?
Yeah, because he lost all of his memories. And he wants them back.
Wow. He didn't lose his memories. He just got too many of them. Wow. Thank you, Sammy, for that. That was beautiful. Wow. Oh my God.
I don't know how to get the show back on the...
Cat Moth. I can't.
His name is just Cat.
Sorry. Oh,
Catrum Cawthon.
Catrum Cawthon. Jeremiah, thank you for that super chat. My cat is actually named Randall Thor the Catacarn. I love that
Randall Thor the
much.
Catacarn. To Randall Thor.
Oh my God.
The Catacarn.
When we get a cat, like a naked cat, it's got to be Cat Swain.
Cat Swain.
It has to be.
No, only if we like her at the end of the series.
I will.
I know, but I don't want to hate that. I don't want to hate your cat more than I'm already going to because it will like keep me from the room you're in.
No, we're gonna find a cat that you're not allergic to. I have hope.
Sure.
Anyways,
guys, what are we doing?
We are talking about The Wheel of Time, Chapter 15.
Never read it.
With Egwene.
Tom Mays, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you.
Just had time to connect. Is weed legal in Canada? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the first times we got high together, we watched the movie Cats.
We did,
I'll post the videos in the Discord. Clarisse is it's so funny. After the movie, she's like literally on the ground, rolling around, like giggling to herself. And she's like,
it wasn't because I was high, it's because the movie's so bad.
She's like, I don't really get, babe, I have video evidence of you having a full-on weed giggle shitstorm. in a onesie on the ground. It's amazing. I'll post those later.
Whatever.
So we've gotten through my first note. We've gotten through one of my notes.
Great. Perfect. I love that. Egwene's dreams.
So the second thing that she saw is Perrin and a tinker hacking through brambles that screamed with human voices they did not hear.
Oh, yeah. That was horrifying.
Yeah. What do you think that is? And why is it the blight?
It's people. Soylent is people. Isn't that a thing from something?
Soylent is people.
That's from something.
The brambles that screamed made me think of the blight.
They're not near the blight, though. Who's near the... Who...
I mean, with how people move around these days, anyone can be in the blight.
That's true.
You can spend one page in the blight and to be back in Gildan, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I definitely thought that they were supposed to represent people that they hack through in, like, battles.
But the part about it is the voices with human voices they did not hear, which made me think of Trollocs. Because they once had human voices before they were twisted into whatever they are now. I don't know.
Horrifying.
And then they're headed towards a cliff they did not know lay ahead.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a literal cliff or do you think it's a metaphor?
It's a trap! That's what I think it is. No, 100%.
And then we have Matt. He's weighing 2 Aes Sedai on a balance scale, and his decision was very important. Ooh. And Egwene says that whenever she pictures Matt right now, it's like bad. But she doesn't know why.
Well, because obviously Matt's dead. F's in chat for Matt, please.
F's in the chat.
The whole like 2 Aes Sedai thing, I actually don't know who that is because he's not really with Aes Sedai right now unless...
He is, though.
What?
Matt, okay, last time we saw Matt, he was the only 2 Aes Sedai in the area where he was, who aren't dark friends, who are like good Aes Sedai, were Aleda's 2 in the palace.
Oh, okay.
I think that Matt might have an opportunity to save if he comes back from the dead again. He's come back from the dead before, guys. It's not like you know. I think that he might have an opportunity to save those 2 Aes Sedai, one of them, and depending on which one he chooses depends on his fate.
Interesting. I like that.
But I also think Matt has to go marry some Siuan lady of the 9 daughter moons or whatever.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a prisoner for a bit, at least.
I think he has to go back to the Siuan now, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, like, what if he saves one of the Siuan? Sorry, saves one of the Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them. One of them is maybe more for Leda and one of them is maybe more for Egwene.
Yeah.
And depending on which one he saves, depends on which faction is going to get the message that he is being taken to the Siuan and he's in danger. And so if it goes to Egwene, Rand finds out and goes saves him. But if it goes to Aleda's not going to do shit for Matt.
Right.
And so, like, maybe this prophecy is about the choice where he has to figure out, he has to roll the dice.
Yeah.
Dance with the Jack of the Shadows.
Pick one of the 2
and
of them.
figure out which Aes Sedai is going to pass along the right message to the right person.
That's super interesting because we've seen an interaction between those 2 Aes Sedai where neither of them seem too hot on Aleda right now, and so I actually like don't know like if that were the case, which one would be the I don't know right choice in that situation. But I like that. That's very interesting. I
don't know either, but I think it would be fun, right? Like,
yeah,
because I do think that he's going to be the first one to go to the Siuan.
Oh yes, 100%.
So I think I don't know. So
very cool.
she gets up. And she goes and meets with Siuan.
Yes.
Siuan. And thus begins the Siuan's no good, very bad day. Where Egwene goes, oh my fucking god, she's in love with Gareth Bryne.
Yeah.
I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to talk to her about this because women in love do dumb things.
I mean, she's like, even myself, I can't believe I sat on Gowan's lap. Like, it's like, okay, girl, calm down. Yeah, I can't believe it took her this long to realize. But I guess we get the perspective from Siuan and from Gareth, so it's not like, you know. But, yeah, Siuan acts so differently with Gareth Bryne than anyone else that it's, yeah. I'm like, finally.
I do like that Siuan hates doing laundry, but she doesn't complain when it's Garrett's because she's like, ooh, I get to touch his panties.
Oh my God.
Get to rub his panties between my fingies.
What?
Yeah, she's just like, I'm going to rub his panties between my fingies.
I'm sorry, I have to sneeze, and it's not. It's like there.
And that's not even smut corner.
Sorry.
That's just like kink corner.
Are we having 2 corners now?
Oh, come on. Siuan sniffs. Siuan gives a...
No, ew, that's okay. Sorry, no king shame. If that's look, if that's your thing, that's fine.
Appreciates Garrett's musk.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I stand by that.
If you're into musk, not the Elon variety, then I'm happy for you, but I don't understand.
If he really wants to be like a pro troll, he really should release Musk's Musk, a cologne. And you know what? People would buy it.
I know people would buy
it. You know what the greatest thing Elon Musk could do for the world would be? Put out a actually good smelling cologne. Because the kind of people who love Elon Musk are the kind of people who probably shower less than the average human. And
they need
I'm like, there is a stereotype of a man with the unwashed ass, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could never be me. I get every digit up in there.
All right. Okay.
Body wash, everything. But Elon Musk could do a service by getting the like introverted gamer nerds who worship him to just like shower and wear Musk's musk.
Oh my God. Sure. As long as it doesn't smell offensive to my nose like Axe does.
Ember says he did release a fragrance, but he didn't call it musk. What are we even fucking doing
What
here?
a missed opportunity. What? Goddamn. What a...
Elon, call me. I'll help.
Yeah.
I will fix Twitter for you.
We got you.
It's not as hard as you're making it.
Anyways,
wow, it's Tangent City today.
I know. Get on track.
No, because I feel like we're doing a good show. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. I hope Chad is having a good time.
Yeah, if you're not having a good time, don't let us know.
I'm enjoying this. A Siddar bidet would be more gentle.
Oh my God.
Look, you can call it TMI, y'all, but like I need the world to know I wash my ass. I'm a very clean individual, and I take pride in how I smell.
Yeah, I can confirm.
There was 1 week of my life where I smelled really bad, and it was because I had rashes in my armpits and I couldn't wear deodorant. And it was a health condition, and I smelled terrible, and I felt bad because I was rehearsing a show, and we were dancing, and the director pulled me aside and was like, you stink. And I was like, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm literally seeing a doctor about it.
No, and you're like, never again.
Ever since we solved that little problem, I smell good, and I want that to be known because we're going to JordanCon in like 5 months.
We need to get shut done.
And I want you all to know that you can come up and say hi to me without having to worry about con smell.
Bob C, thank you so much for that super chat. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, Trollocs are born now. Originally, they were blended with human and animals. Oh, interesting. Cool.
Blended human and animals. Oh God.
Trolloc sex is probably weird to watch.
Probably.
That's somebody's kink, though.
Somebody's made that fan art.
So Gwen goes to meet with Gareth Brine, the aforementioned hottie with a dad body, and he tells her that what?
You're very funny today. I like it.
That's the shirt. Gareth Brine, hottie with a dad body. And then there's just Siuan peeking out of the pocket looking like it's one of those pocket shirts. And Garrett's on one side and then Siuan's peeking out of the pocket on the other side.
I love it. I'm here for it. Oh my God.
And he's like, yo, the Andorrans and the Mirandians are waiting on a frozen lake or are north of us.
Yeah. They're about to reach a very good defensible position.
They want to get in between us and the Andor of it all. And she's like, well, okay, go tell them we'll have a meeting. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fine. And he's like, everyone's going to find out.
They're going to know. Nobody's going to know. No.
Don't worry about it. And he's like, no.
She knows they're going to find out, right? She's like, okay, I only have a limited amount of time, so just go be fast about it, and then don't worry, I'll take care of the rest. Because she's got stuff planned. Because
Egwene doesn't want to start a war right now, because it would be very bad.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. So after he leaves, Egwene and Siuan have a little chat about the 3 O's.
Yeah.
And Egwene is like, I want to get rid of them. And Siuan's like, no, you don't understand. They're what makes us Aes Sedai.
This is actually really interesting moment for me.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about the 3 O's before. And how like
dumb.
They suck.
Yeah.
But Siuan is like, no. That's what makes us Aes Sedai. Anyone can channel. Anyone can can learn how to use the one power or be born with that. Like that doesn't matter. What makes us Aes Sedai is these oaths. Mm-hmm. And it's really sad that they've kind of been almost corrupted in a way, right? Because the idea of them, the surface idea of them, I actually think makes a lot of sense, right? You have this power and you want other people to be able to trust you, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to go to your neighboring nations and negotiate with them peacefully and get along. That is the ultimate goal. And the Aes Sedai having this power, but being hindered in a way where like, oh, we can't lie. So like, you can trust me. The surface idea of that I think is great. But the problem is that the Aes Sedai have just become so sneaky and slippery that they have to manipulate the oaths to serve them in a way that is self-serving as opposed to cooperative.
It's almost like the oaths are bad.
Well, and that's the thing, right?
They're just too. They're too many loopholes. They're too inherently flawed. Also, the fact that you can just like breathe an oath onto the Dark One's dick, and suddenly your other oaths don't matter. Like there's too many holes in them. Yeah. And so Siuan this is so much about ego for Siuan. Yeah. In a way that like is a little bit sad. Like
she doesn't realize that the Aes Sedai suck.
Yeah.
Right? They've broken up.
She still believes in the corrupted structure of the Aes Sedai.
Trevor, thank you. Welcome back to the Nerd Table. Happy Friday. It's one of those weird things where you're like, Siuan, I can understand this from her point of view, but she doesn't see how flawed. She's in the middle of the manipulation of it all, and still doesn't see how it's bad. Like they shouldn't have to be playing these weird mind games with the Hall and everything like that. Like it shouldn't come down to this in crazy manipulation and not necessarily backstabbing, but like going behind people's backs.
Well, and what's so interesting about her relationship with the oaths is that she's basically like, no, you don't understand. Without the oaths, we can't manipulate everyone and be in total control. But that's her point of view, right? Yeah. It's like, no, you don't understand. Kings won't kneel for us if we don't have the oaths. Yeah. It's about like her belief ultimately that Aes Sedai should be in control of everything. Yeah. And she is unable to see how the reality of that and the existence of that system has led her to where she's at now.
Yeah, like Siuan is like, no, it's a pyramid and Aes Sedai are at the top. Yes. As opposed to each being a piece of the puzzle that works cohesively for the good of the country, right? Mm-hmm. So,
Sex Monkey, I like their point here. The three oaths are like socialism. Sometimes you get good things. Sometimes you get communism. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's
right.
Totally
like
fair.
I think there's a lot of validity there.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. It's unfortunate it's unfortunate for Egwene's point of view that Siuan is coming at this from such an emotional point of view, and Egwene is like, Tarmin Gaden's coming and we have to fight the devil.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like Siuan's being a little bit unrealistic about her priorities right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Truly, I think that there's something about Tarmin Gaden being a little bit more important than whether or not the Aes Sedai are like able to like tell kings what to do.
A little bit. Yeah. Tommy, thank you for that super chat. Oaths are needed if the Aes Sedai want to be a separate nation. If they join a nation, oaths would not be needed. See Wise Ones, Windfinders.
I disagree with that.
I don't think so. I think that what the problem is that Aes Sedai feel the need to come out on top. Mm-hmm. They already have the one power. Instead of using the one power to be self-serving, they should be using that power to better the nations as a whole. Yeah. And, they have kind of that step towards, like, royalty having advisors is a good idea. But the problem is those advisors are there to be self-serving and self-sufficient for the Aes Sedai as a whole, as opposed to, like, the country, right? If the Aes Sedai wanted to, like, make things better, they would go around and, like, mend wagons and heal people and stuff, like this all hoity-toityness. They would be
doing what the Windfinders are doing for the Seafolk, which is controlling the weather to make everything work better.
Yes, the Atha and Mir, as well. I know we don't know as much about them, but they have a system where like you have this ability, so you're going to use it for the betterment of the ship, right? You have the sail mistress, you have the wind finder, and you have the wave mistress, and you have everybody doing their part to make the ship sail.
Mm-hmm.
And the Aes Sedai feel like they don't want to do their part to make the ship of Randland sail.
No, because the Aes Sedai claim to be above politics, and all they do is meddle in politics.
Yes.
So...
Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting, though, because I can see why the idea of the oaths makes sense to people.
Mm-hmm. There was one I wanted to... Robert Power says, so if you reworded the oaths to remove the loopholes, would they be beneficial? No.
There will always be...
Here's the problem with an oath about honesty, is that you cannot remove the loophole of half-truth. You can't, write an oath that says, I will say every possible truth related to a subject every time I speak. You know what I mean? You remove the ability to have a conversation. I also think that the ability to lie does not make someone more or less trustworthy. You can lie constantly and be a very good person, and you can only tell the truth and be the worst person alive. Those are both possibilities.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
it doesn't adjust intent.
It becomes about the Aes Sedai have created a system in which they use the three oaths as a barrier between them and having to have a real conversation about what their power means for Randland and what their duty is to everyone. They say, oh, well, no, but we have the three oaths, so no matter what we do, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And their political structure has led to them being an inefficient and corrupt system that doesn't benefit anyone except Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And you can tell that because nobody likes the Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
No one in Randland likes them.
Yeah,
they tolerate them because they're scared of them.
Perry Wolf, thank you for that super chat. Perry Wolf says that they go against the meaning of their own name, which is servants of all, and they don't. That is the opposite.
Thank you for that super chat, Perry Wolf.
What they do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting, right? Because it's the Aes Sedai are so removed from being servants of all, and their whole system is built upon being powerful and demanding of others.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like Cadsuane. But I do like Soralia. Is that Soralia, I genuinely believe, is working within the Aiel system for the betterment of Aiel.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that she's a member of that community who is demanding, and she's a very strong-willed woman.
Yeah.
Right? She has this power within her, and no one is going to say nothing to her, right? But she is of that community, and she serves and protects that community and has that community's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Cadsuane is very powerful and very old and is putting her idea of what everybody else needs and wants before what anyone else says to her.
Yeah.
And she's coming into this situation, and this is why I say Cadsuane sucks. This is why I'm literally wearing a shirt about this character. Cadsuane's point of view is, I am right, you're going to do what I want you to do, and that is the right thing. And Soralia's point of view is, I have lived among this community my whole life. I have a council of people that I trust, and I'm going to use my strength of character to better the lives of everybody with me.
Yeah.
And those are not the same person. Cadsuane is so selfish and self-serving, even though she claims it's for other people. But if you don't listen to those people, if you don't work with them for their solutions, then all you are doing is harming those people.
I think that's what Rand is doing, though.
Rand has less choice than Cadsuane has, though.
I don't know. Rand is it doesn't matter what anybody else wants. Tarmangaden is coming, and I will do anything and use any means to win it. And I think Cadsuane is the same.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would argue that Rand is 20 years old and has been given a prophecy that he doesn't know how to deal with.
Which is why
Cadsuane is 400 years old and should know better.
No, but she does think she knows better. She's like, I know, this is how we're gonna get through this, right?
But she doesn't. She consistently doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She doesn't know better. She doesn't even know where Rand is right now.
Well, I mean...
She doesn't have any information.
How is she supposed to know that?
But this is my point. If Cadsuane had been on Rand's council for 6 months and had been sitting there day in and day out with everybody else, learning what's going on, I would maybe agree with you more. Cadsuane's been there for 5 minutes and is going, no, we have to change everything. And Rand is like, there's too much in motion that you're not even aware of. You're trying to tell me to stop things that you don't know what they are. Learn what's going on first, and then you can come be a part of the council. But to show up day one and be like, I'm in charge now, and Rand's like, what's going on in Ilion? Cadsuane's like, what the fuck's going on in Ilion? Exactly. How the fuck can you be in charge? You don't know what you're in charge of if you say you're in charge, right? And that's my problem with her is she is this character who comes into a situation and is like, I know what's going on in 10 countries that I've never been to.
Well, no, she travels around a lot. Trippy, thank you for that super chat. I like an Aes Sedai to come heal me as I've COVID for the first time. I'm so sorry. Drink a lot of electrolytes and stay healthy. We appreciate you. James Ross, thank you as well for that super chat. Nerdy makes a good point. He seems like a good guy, but wears a t-shirt with a dirty lie.
And Rand Talmore, thank you for that super chat. The Tower has thousands of years of knowledge and history they keep to themselves. Hate 'em, power to the dragon.
Yeah, I think the strength of these books is that they are gray,
straight up lying. And this is where it gets to be. This is why the Odes are bullshit. The Aes Sedai lie all of the time about Aes Sedai shit. They lie all of the time so that they can stay in power, so that nobody... The White Tower is never broken. That is a lie. That is a straight up lie.
The problem is most of them don't know it. That's
so the three Odes are bullshit.
But that's the thing. They hide their own history and do not learn from it for this facade of power and, like, absolute perfection. It's wild. James Smith, thank you for that super chat. I said I as a whole believe they're helping everyone. The White Tower helps Rand land. That is how they see it. The thing is,
you have to be so far up your own ass to believe that that's true.
Well, no,
I'm sorry, but like,
but they do believe that that's true, right? They're like, oh, well, the doors
because they
open.
They're so far up their own assholes that they can see out their own mouths.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
they think that they're helping, because that's just like what's been done and tradition, and it's not.
Lifeline and Fool says George Costanza learned his ability to beat the lie detector from the Aes Sedai.
Oh my God. Welcome back to the Nerd Table. Thank you for that.
All right.
Anyways.
That's the end of the chapter.
One thing that was in chapter 15 is that we do...
We're one chapter and it's been 40 minutes.
I'm so sorry. Arzu, thank you for that super chat. Hello, whenever you catch up to this. So we find out that Logain being propped up by the Reds is a lie that Siuan came up with. It's not actually true.
Yeah. We learned that last book.
I was under the impression that it was still up for debate.
Maybe Chat told us that last book. You little...
Yeah, Chat was like, no, it's not actually true, when we didn't have that, like, as confirmation, but we now have confirmation of that.
Arazu Kashefapor says, I'm 40 minutes behind, but watching 1.5 speed to catch up. Just wanted to say hi. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. We've talked about one chapter.
Yeah, truly. Methany, thank you as well for that super chat.
One of my favorite parts of the series, from whoa, Aes Sedai to ugh, Aes Sedai, yes.
That's so valid.
Yeah, the positive to negative view on the Aes Sedai pipeline is strong, and like it's just a pit that goes straight down.
We also find out that Gareth's Bryan army is 30,000 strong, which is like pretty great, but Eleda is strengthening the Tower Guard to 50,000, so oopsie.
Yeah, but she doesn't want Gawain for some reason. She's like, not Gawain.
I don't know.
Which I don't get. Like, did he like... pull pranks on her when he was a baby? Like,
I don't know.
These monies, thank you for those monies. Siuan took the biggest L of anyone so far, and she still wants to stick to the old ways.
Yeah. When it's all that you know, sometimes it's the easiest thing to just hang on to.
But also, like, the Siuan are invading the country, and Siuan's like, no, we need to not be able to fight them.
Yeah.
Chapter 16, Unexpected Absences. I had a lot of these in high school. My TA was calling my mom. Hey, David didn't come into school today.
Shocking. Jeremiah, thank you so much for that super duper
Jeremiah,
chat.
The way the White Tower interacts with the world and sees itself really reminds me of the U.S. Yes. Pretty sure that's what Jordan was going for. Not unique to the U.S., but it's very common in powerful organizations, but particularly the United States of America. Yes. I agree.
Burying your history? What?
We're the best, except for all the times where we've done the war crimes.
Never heard that.
But we're going to try everyone else for war crimes, even though we did the war crimes too. George W. Bush.
Anyways, chapter 16. Halima is murdering Egwene's maids.
Poor Salami.
I know. Which is, I
love that, what's her name? Chisa? Chisa's like, Chisa. She became a little whore because Halima taught Salami to be a whore, and now she's gone.
I know, I was like, what are you talking about?
Chisa, you're next.
I know.
The call is coming from inside the house.
I'm worried for her because I think it's Siuan who's like, "Are you sure she hasn't been your maid your whole life?" Like, Chessa is great. She doesn't like meddle or like
I love her.
push or anything. She's just there to make sure that Egwene is taken care of. Like the one comment where Egwene's like, "I wonder how many times she changed up this meal to make sure I had something like hot when I got back." I was like, Chessa, guys, let's go.
Yeah, I think Chisa is going to be the one that catches Halami.
Oh.
Do you think that like Salami caught Halami, or do you think
Halima?
Sure. Do you think that Salami caught Halima, and that's why she had to be killed, or do you think that their names had too similar, like a rhyming sound, and she was
like, no, I can't.
Chisa's okay, very different, but we can't have Salami and Halima because
what about with the
Nerdy
M1?
will have a dyslexic stroke every time he reads these chapters.
Yes, Robert Jordan peered into the future and watched our book club.
I would not put it past Robert Jordan in his infinite wisdom to be a prophet.
Fair enough.
Yeah. This is my Bible now. So at the beginning of this chapter, Egwene is like, "Call the hall," and then the hall shows up, and she's like, "We're taking up. We're just gonna stay here for a couple of days." And I was like, "That could have been an email. That
could have been an email."
All of the things you didn't need to like gather everybody together for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone like got all dressed up. They're like, "Ooh, a sitting of the hall. Big important news." Yeah, it's just chill. We're good. And everyone's like,
okay.
Cool.
Sheriam's like, "I've been saying that maybe we should like stop. So like, why now?" And she's like, "Don't worry about it." And then Sheriam goes off and is tortured by somebody.
And then Halami goes and hides a corpse. We're not at Sheriam's point of view yet.
Sorry, I'm just.
You're just jumping ahead. Now we're at Halami burying a body. Just in the middle of the
Halima,
chapter.
you're gonna confuse me because I'm gonna start calling it
Halami and Salami are coming
Halima,
up the stairs. Who knows what that song is in the chat? Don't say.
Why? I don't know it.
You don't know that song?
Coming up the stairs.
Coming down the stairs. Halami and Salami are coming down the stairs. Come on, you know this.
Is that? I've never seen it, but bananas.
Yes!
Pajamas.
Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Did anyone in chat get it? No.
I've never seen
James Ross. Fuck yes, James Ross.
I've never, yeah.
Oh, hell yes. James Ross wins. I don't know what you win yet, but you win something.
Quick fingers. Well done.
Oh my god. That's a Canadian show, right? Maybe. I don't know.
No idea.
Are there any Americans who know what bananas in pajamas are? That was my fucking childhood.
I never watched it.
It's so good. You know how much I love pajamas.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how much I love pajamas. So a show about characters in pajamas, like that's my jam. That's my shit right there.
Do you remember Roly Poly Oly?
Roly Poly Oly. I do because
He's small and short and round.
I had a stroke every time I watched that show.
What?
Because it was Roly Poly Oly, and my brain would just like short out trying to like. And it was in like that weird block text.
Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry.
And I was like, what the
this?
fuck is this show? And they'd be like, Roly Poly Oly. And I'm like, how the fuck is that nonsense Roly Poly Oly? It looks like.
Anyways, more tangents.
Jay Allen says it's an Australian show. But then wouldn't it be bananas in pajamas?
That was not. No, that was terrible.
That was very Kiwi of me. That's not a banana. This is a banana.
Nope.
He pulls out, it's got pajamas on it.
Oh my god. Nope. Maybe it was global.
I guess the bananas and pajamas are just like a global phenomenon.
A universal
and
thing.
I love that. I love that for us. So we cut back to Egwene. Fuck.
I know.
And she's sitting in her little camp, and Lelaine
shows up, surprise. And then Ramonda shows up, surprise.
Which was surprising. Oh, I can't make that joke. Because no one else has seen Black Panther 2 yet.
No, you can't. No Black Panther 2 references.
The whole of Black Panther 2, I was sitting there like, Queen Ramonda and Ramonda is the Aes Sedai from fucking Wheel of Time.
Oh, I didn't.
Because Angela Bassett's character is Queen Ramonda.
So when we get to this part in the show, Angela Bassett has to come back and reprise her role.
Can you fucking imagine Angela Bassett on the Wheel of Time TV show?
She'd be like perfect for it.
Egwene would be fucked.
Yeah.
You can't say no. Angela Bassett should be Cat Swain. Then I would love her. Or Sora Leah. If Angela, there's so many great female characters in The Wheel of Time. If this was a higher budget show, or if it was like a series of movies, Angela Bassett would be so
good.
Good.
So anyways. Yes, so they come in and they're both very upset, you know. They basically threaten Egwene. Like,
yeah, but they also are like, they're not like drop-in mothers. Neither of them ask to leave. And Egwene's sitting there like,
I'm gonna fuck
this
you guys
isn't
up
how this works.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, she's definitely got her arms under her titties, pushed up, mucho cleavage going, and they bounce. And she's like, and they bounce. Probably. In Robert Jordan's brain, Egwene has anime titties, and you know it.
Oh, 1,000%.
And then, so she's pissed, but they're like, when we go to the meeting, because they find out that Gareth Bryan set up a meeting and yada, yada, yada. And she's like, when we go to the meeting, you're going to let me talk to them. And Egwene's like, yes, sure, whatever you want. And then Lelaine is like, you're going to let me talk to them. And Egwene's like, yeah, sure, whatever you want. Okay. Deep down, Egwene's like, fuck, no, neither of you are.
Absolutely not ever.
Both of you are going to get spanked soon, though.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to Shariam, who goes back to her tent, gets stripped naked by having her clothes blown off of her body, and then she gets spanked.
Beaten. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that's Halima?
No.
No, you think it's someone else?
Yeah, I don't. I think that if it was Halima, they would have told us.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right? Like,
so you think there's two different spies?
I just think it would be very strange to have Halima to tell us that Halima is murdering people in camp, but then be like coy about whether or not she's spanking Shariam. I feel like there's something else going on here.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Halima is not affiliated with the Black Aja.
Right.
I think that this is the Black Aja.
Okay.
Trying to control Egwene. But Halima doesn't need to do this, because Halima is in the room where it happened.
No, she is affiliated with Black Aja because that's what Delana is.
Right.
Delana is Black Aja.
Maybe it's Delana who does this.
Maybe.
Fantasy fan, welcome to the Nerd to the Nerd
Table. Thank you.
I think that this is going to be a different party. I don't think it's going to be Halima.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if it was Halima, they would have said that it was Halima.
Yeah, that's fair. Ricardo, thank you for that super duper chat. Thank you.
Just stopping by on my lunch break to tell you guys that you're amazing and I love all your content. I hope to see everyone at JordanCon wearing a Cat Swain Suck shirt. Yes. We're guys. Everyone, we're gonna do photos at JordanCon. I want a Siswaya mommy photo where everyone is not wearing a beanie. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just this weird like red blur above all of our heads. So JordanCon, Atlanta.
JordanCon,
be
let's
there
go.
or don't, because it's expensive and like I understand international travel. I don't want to pressure anyone, but if you're already going, let's have a good time. All right. Also, who knows what flights are going to cost next year?
Oh my god, yeah, I know.
Chapter 17 on thin ice. Out on thin ice. Because they literally go out on a fucking lake.
Go on a lake.
This is the dumbest shit.
Well, it's only dumb. Like, in my head, I was like, winter's only been here for like 3 days.
Yeah, that is not a thick thought.
I know, there's a fly.
It just went in my ear.
I'm sorry.
That is not a long enough frost for that ice to be set.
I know, that's literally what I was thinking while I was reading this. I was like, they're gonna fall through.
We're so fucking Canadian.
I know.
We're like, you can't go ice fishing until the frost is set in long enough. Because here's the problem. Okay, so for those of you who are like, I live in Florida, I don't know what you mean. Mm-hmm. Ice freezes down, not up, right? When it gets cold, the bottom of the water freezes last.
Yeah. And will only freeze if it's very cold for a long period of time.
A period of time.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the top freezes first, and that actually insulates the water underneath from freezing.
Yeah.
And so it takes longer for the ice to penetrate down. And so
not a good enough reason to use the word penetrate. I'm sorry.
I love the word penetrate.
Shocker.
So if even though it's very cold and it looks like there is ice on the water, that does not mean that it is frozen.
I literally was reading this and I was like, they're gonna fall through the ice. they're just gonna fall through the ice and everyone's gonna drown and die. I was like, what is this? Is a terrible idea.
Cease Army says this was pointed out by another Canadian podcast too. I figured anyone who lives far enough north.
Yeah, they're like, what are you doing?
Especially if you are an ice skater who skates on like lakes in the winter, which I grew up doing. I don't know if your family did, but like you have to wait for the the frost to get deep enough in the lake. It's not just about the top being frozen. It actually has to, it's so...
Yeah, that was a strange one for me.
It's so strange. And so reading this whole chapter, I was like, this is a nightmare. They're all going to die. Yeah. Like it's only been days.
Yeah.
You would need a thick like couple week and like a slow progression to that cold.
Yeah.
But like this kind of snap cold, it'll freeze the top layer, but it will not penetrate.
Yeah. God damn it.
Penetrate.
Why? Okay. Yeah,
Anyway.
That was one thing that I knew we were both going to bring that up in the reading because I was like, there's no fucking way.
The city of Calgary would not let you skate on that pond if it had only been frozen for 3 days.
Nope, absolutely not. So yeah, Egwene...
I love that this bugged us both so much. Oh, man.
Egwene wakes up super early before the sun comes up and she saddles up her horse and she rides onto the lake. She meets with the people from Andor from her name is like Ellen what's her name? Did you write it down? What's her name?
Who?
Starts with an A.
Who?
The people that they're meeting. There's people from Merendy, the Merendians.
Oh yeah. I did not write all their names.
Alejandra. I don't know.
Ali Oxenfree's there. They've set up a tent. They've set up a little bit of a camp.
Yeah. There's like a table laid out. And my favorite thing is that all the Aes Sedai steal the good seats.
Arathel, thank you.
Thank you. I was like, I know.
The Aes Sedai steal all the good seats?
Yeah, when they go to sit down at the table.
No, they send their no, they don't steal the good seats. They send their servants go and they remove all the chairs that had been set up for them. And they put down these benches for the Aes Sedai that have been wrapped in fabric with their Aja colors.
Oh, I missed that part. I literally thought they like, when you like are like a kid in elementary school and you want the like good seat in the classroom because you're watching a movie that day or whatever, that all the Aes Sedai like ran to go get like the seats that they wanted and then all the nobles got there and they're like, oh.
Did you skim this a little bit?
This part?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So they get there, and the nobles are already sitting down facing them. And the Aes Sedai servants go first and remove all of the chairs that have been set up for the Aes Sedai and place benches down with their Aja colors. And then the Aja walk in and expect the nobles to stand up. But the nobles don't stand for the Aes Sedai, which the Aes Sedai view as a slight.
Sorry, I thought this was like this person sitting beside this person, and I was like, man. Like...
You were just describing this. I was like, nothing you just said happened in this section at all.
My bad. I literally thought they
Evan Albino says, Clarice skimming the chapter. Were they playing musical chairs?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was going on.
And so the Aes Sedai arrive at this meeting and they are upset because they feel as if they are being slighted right away, and that the nobles there are not treating them like real Aes Sedai, but treating them like fake Aes Sedai by not standing for them. Which Egwene goes, this is great. This is the best thing they could have done for my plans.
Well, and she like realizes that they're not even like looking at her. They're looking at the hall, like at everybody else.
Like people with ageless faces.
Yeah, because she doesn't look like an Aes Sedai. So they're like, can't be her.
I think that this is why you like Cat Swain, because you don't like fully read the chapter.
What do you mean?
I'm just teasing you. If you like, I'm saying like if you fully read all the Cat Swain chapters, you would think she sucks like I do. But because you skim through the worst of her, you forgive her. Sure.
Yeah. That's it for sure. Oh my god.
And so they have this meeting, which is really I didn't really understand what was going on because Gwen just keeps being like, this works into my plans, but we're never. Robert Jordan does a slightly frustrating thing to me, where he is constantly saying that people have plans, but he never uses that to enjoy dramatic irony by letting us be somewhat in on the plan.
Yeah.
it always cuts away.
We are never a part of the plan.
And I think that like there would be a way to like mix in some moments of dramatic irony so that it isn't always the same beat. But I feel like he leans and I being 8 books in, I'm starting to have a little bit of like there are Robert Jordanisms that I sometimes roll my eyes at a little bit. And one of them is he always goes to the well of, let me tell you my plan. Cut to an hour later.
Yeah.
When, oh, that was your plan? And that sometimes works in like a movie because we're going to see it anyway and there's not really a reason to reveal it and whatever. But I think that Robert Jordan goes to that well so often that it stands out because you're like, wow, dude, like,
yeah,
you really like this.
He's got like a style for it for sure. But I think the payoff for this one was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
I did really enjoy it. Yeah. It was just, it's one of those Robert Jordanisms that I was like, and check that off the bingo list for this week.
Yes.
We always
cut away from the plan conversations. Yeah.
And sometimes I think it's because the plans don't make any sense. And so later on it saves, because like when we get to the battle sequence later, we're going to talk about it. It makes not one lick of sense. Like anything that happens in that chapter is so muddled, and we'll get into why I think that's. But we'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they basically have this long chat where they're like, "We need you to come. We need you to not come into Andor." And Egwene is like, "Cool. The person who will be speaking for me is," and Ramonda and Lelaine both like. Primp. Everyone's looking like good. Everyone's like in their Sunday finest. You know what I mean? Take me to church. I'll worship at the altar like a dog or whatever Hoosier said. And she's like, I'll be speaking for myself. And
you nailed it.
Romaine and Lettuce are like wilting in the back. They're like,
Romaine and Lettuce are wilting. That's perfect.
Will we be fully wilted before Liz Truss leaves office? And Egwene basically is like, look, we're gonna sit here for a month. The Mirandians are going to sell us a bunch of shit.
Yeah, we're going to make you guys money. You're going to help us.
We're never going to come into Andor, so don't even worry about that. We're going to go...
Just going to hang out here.
Like Ilion, I think? I don't really know what the other direction is.
Well, and I do wish we had our beautiful new map to enjoy. And
we need to make sure that it's not stuck to the wall so that I can go grab it mid-show and be like, they're here.
Well, no, we'll put the Velcro thingies on it so you can remove it and put it back on the wall super easy.
Yeah, but those ripped the wall last time.
No, they're meant to be like... pulled in half.
So they're gonna...
Excuse me? There it is.
Oh yeah, they're gonna go through Ilion. And up. They're gonna go down through Ilion. Or like through Mirandy? No, they're in Mirandy.
In Mirandy, yeah. And instead of going...
So they have to go... But the weird thing is they have to go like down into Ilion and then come back up through Farmading to go up through Kyrian to Tarvalon. So they've added a bunch of time.
Yeah. Weird.
Because they're not going to go back west and around. So, like, they've actually made this a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because Mirandy's down here, right? They're not up there.
Yeah.
Can I see this one?
Right here. Mirandy's right here. Yeah.
So they have to go down into Ilion. It's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, which, whatever, you don't want to, like, make enemies. I think that's fair. But, reading this, I was like, God, I wish I had a map that was detachable that I could just read and look at the same time, but now we have that.
Mike LL says they're not going to do any of that. They're going to travel.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I mean, here's the thing. Taking 30,000 men...
No, they have, like, all the ice... Of course they're just going to travel. Wait.
Sure, but I guess not, like, every Aes Sedai can make a gate.
It doesn't matter.
Do they need to know where they're going or where they are?
But they know where they're going. They're Aes Sedai. They're going to Tarvalon. They're going home.
I'm going home.
But literally,
I guess
they're going home.
So you think they're going to like stay there for a month?
Oh my god! God, we're so stupid.
Pop up in the middle of the tower.
They've only been traveling by foot because they needed to collect an army, and now that they have their 30,000. They're just gonna pop in.
Like in the middle of the White Tower?
No. They're gonna siege Tarvalon.
Here's the thing.
Oh my god, they could pop straight into the White Tower, and like Aleda would never know, because Aleda maybe knows that they can travel, but
Well, okay.
We know that you can travel in the White Tower. They should just pop into a latest study and just send a stream of people and just fucking fight their way down. That would be a great video game level.
Okay.
Andrew Leonard, really quickly, Andrew Leonard, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the
But would fireworks blow a hole in the ice, Nerdy? Probably not. Honestly, ice, when it's densely packed enough, you would dent the top of it, but the majority of the energy of the fireworks would just go up and out. Unless it was like in a ball of ice, then maybe, but doesn't matter.
When was Tarvalon built? Was it during the Age of Legends?
No, it was no. It was built after because it was after the breaking of the world.
Because I was like, what if Tarvalon ends up being like Hogwarts and you can't disapparate?
No, but we know that you can
because
Leandrin was doing it.
Right. Okay.
Like Leandrin was popping in and out of there earlier,
and so is
Semirhage.
And the other one starts with an M. I'm trying to remember her name.
Masana. Oh my god, I pulled that out of the back of my butthole.
Well, didn't know. Your butthole.
That's why I keep names. That's why the names get all mixed up.
Oh my god.
It's because I keep them in the back of my butthole.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. Yeah. Oh my god, of course they're going to travel. I feel so stupid.
Oh my gosh. What if the Siuan somehow pick up traveling from like a leftover weave from somebody traveling, and that's why Min saw a bunch of the Aes Sedai that were currently in the White Tower in collars, because the Siuan are also going to show up.
Yeah, it's possible. That's been my... I don't know that the Siuan would know what Tarvalon is, though. Like, if the Siuan traveled to Tarvalon, that would be weird to me. Because, like, how the fuck do they know where that is?
They have maps. They've taken over 3 cities. There are maps that exist. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
My biggest fear this, like, whole book has been that the Siuan are going to, like, stumble across a, like, traveling weave and, like, learn it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or that they'll just take someone and that person will know, right? They'll have an Adam they'll have a Damani. Thanks for changing the pronunciation of that one, Michael Kramer.
Oh my god.
I feel like all of the chapters that we have reacted to have been Michael Kramer chapters.
Yeah.
Except the Nynaeve stuff in the last one.
We got like a part of... Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, and yeah, we also find out that
they have Bakakar. They have captured Aes Sedai, but they haven't yet captured Aes Sedai who know how to travel.
Yes, traveling was lost. We only a handful of people know how to do that.
That we know of, but none of the Salad Bar Aes Sedai have been captured, and Alviarin hasn't been captured, and we know she knows how to travel from Masana.
Right. Okay, anyways,
it would be, I don't know, I feel like it would be a little convenient if the Siuan show up at Tarvalon this book. But if the Siuan show up at Tarvalon in a future book, by that means, I would be more into that. I think it would be a little bit fast. I think the Siuan have to go lick their wounds from their loss to Rand right now and kind of figure out what's going on. Because don't forget, they're in a place where I'm going to call them domains. I don't care what Michael Kramer says.
Yeah.
Their domains can't really channel properly right now and aren't channeling, right? They're all sick. So I don't know that they would suddenly get better and be like, well, since we're suddenly better, let's go right to Tarvalon. That just seems like bad military strategy.
It might be a future thing. The problem here, my thing is, if they take the White Tower, right?
Oh, Baka Karn is saying that was in regards to knowing about Tarvalon. Right. They have the Siuan of Aes Sedai who know Tarvalon.
Yeah.
Sure, you're correct.
What was it saying? No, we didn't quite. No. What was it saying? If they get there in this book. I feel like they're gonna have to learn how to like make wards that set off traps when like someone like travels in. Like I feel like that like they should be trying to figure out.
They don't know that those exist though. Only Rand knows that because Asmodean taught him.
I guess.
Alviarin might learn from Masana, but like the Aes Sedai don't have wards. We've never seen an Aes Sedai set a ward like that. The only person we've seen do it is Rand, and that was because Asmodean taught him how to do it. So unless like Mogideon taught them warding, which I don't think she did. I think that was one of the things Because, like, when Mogideon goes back to the Dark One, she's like, I did not teach them everything.
Yeah.
I think one of the things was wards, right? Like, they have a ward against eavesdropping that while they're holding it. But Rand is, as far as we know, Rand is the only person who has set up a, like, attack ward.
They didn't even know how to, like, stop people from eavesdropping.
Moraine knows how to set wards. Okay, yeah, then why aren't they setting more wards?
What kind of ward? When did Moraine, like, stopped people from, like... Set a ward in Shadar the Goth. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Then how is Halima getting around?
I don't know.
Why aren't they setting up wards all over this Aes Sedai camp?
Well, because here's the thing.
Like, how is Halima...
Halima uses the male side of the power.
Right.
So
But don't they have like a motion ward that they can be like, oh, hey...
A motion detector?
No, Moraine sets up wards... Moraine also sets up wards in the mountains. In... which book was that where they're in the Mountains of the Mist? Remember when they have the camp and they get attacked by the Trollocs?
Isn't that book 2?
No. It's after book 2. It's after Falma. It's book 3. In book 4.
Is it?
When are they in the mountains? Yeah, they're like living in the mountains.
Book 3, yeah.
Book 3. I think Moraine sets up wards then.
But the thing is, she doesn't set up like motion detectors. She can detect shadow spawn like Trollocs and Murdral. Whereas Halima's not. Halima is still like in a human body and also is using Saidar and not Saidin. Or no,
okay,
Saidin
then I will say this. The
Saidar.
only people we've seen set up wards for traveling are Rand and the Forsaken.
Yeah.
We've never seen anyone set up we'll have to get specific, but I don't think anyone... They didn't even know traveling existed. Why would they have wards for something that they don't know how it exists?
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like that should be, like, a point of study for people right now. But the problem is they don't want to share traveling with too many people. So
I don't know if they know how to create a new ward.
Probably not.
The only person we've seen create new shit is Nynaeve and Elaine, right?
Yeah, I guess if anyone, it might be, like, Elaine to do it. Yeah,
and Avienda and Egwene. Egwene kind of, like, figures out traveling on her own-ish. Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I miss Moraine.
Me too,
I really miss Moraine.
Yeah, me too. She was great.
She was the Dami mommy of my dreams.
So anyways, we finished this chapter where Egwene is like, oh, by the way, anyone of any age who wants to join the White Tower and can be taught how to channel is welcome. And the Aes Sedai lose their shit a little bit, but not publicly. They're crying inside. And they have to be very stoic outside because then they mingle. There's a lovely little, like, catering event.
Oh, we're still back there. I forgot we hadn't gotten past that. Yeah, they mingle, and Egwene is like a teenager at her parents' party. Like, Egwene, this to me reads like my mom and my stepdad throw a Christmas party on the first Friday of December. It's like they're in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The first Friday of December is staked out as our Christmas party.
Yeah.
If you're anybody who's anybody, you don't throw a Christmas party against my parents' Christmas party because you will fail. Their party will be better than yours. And it's a raucous affair. I never lived there when I was old enough to drink. I've never actually been to the party when I was old enough to drink. But my sister before me, and then when I turned 16, it became my job. I would drive everyone home from that party. And so I was literally just driving home all of these like 40 to 50-year-olds
who are drunk.
Like frat boy hammered.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, it was wild.
Michael, thank you so much for the super chat. The Aes Sedai should have a contest for designing new wards.
Ooh.
The Weevies. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Honestly, like, yeah, the problem is that none of the Aes Sedai want to share their secrets with any other Aes Sedai. So it's all bullshit.
James said, thank you for that membership.
Thank you. Welcome back to the nerd table.
Wards to notify or stop shadow spawn. There are no wards to stop traveling. Rand only had a notify ward. There are no wards to stop dark friends.
No, I think the ward that we're talking about is the ward that Raven sets. That Rand sets off by channeling in the near vicinity.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a notification, but it's not a...
Well, it's a deadly notification, yeah.
But
that's how
there is a ward for people. Because Moraine, when they're in the mountains, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the mountains, Moraine says that she had to choose between a ward for Shadow Spawn or a ward for people. And she chose the Shadow Spawn one because that was more dangerous.
I don't remember that.
But I'm pretty... I might be remembering this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there are both, but she doesn't want... but she has to choose between them, because if she sets both of them, it's too much power, and it will draw. It'll be too recognizable that there's that much power going on because there's two wards, and it will draw people in.
It will attract them.
I think I'm right here.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
The one for people. Fuck! I am so good, you guys. If I really reach into the back of my butthole, there is so much back there. It's hard to get to because I have to like wade through all the shit.
So we have our
Talmains
Christmas party.
Our boy Talmains is back.
Yeah.
And I you know what? Like I like this character a lot. I hope we get more of him.
I agree. I love that like Egwene was trying to like suss him out, go hang out with him. I think is that the next chapter? Yeah. She's like they kind of like have a little bit of trust between the two of them. You know, like she gives him a little bit of information, and then he's like, you know what? I appreciate that you've been honest with me. I'm going to give you some information as well. And he's like, hey, someone wants to hire us so that they can stake their claim to the throne of Merindy. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. And Egwene is like, don't do it. Don't go to war. And he's like, well, they just want us to kind of be like scary. And she's like, please, like, whatever you do, just, like, no fighting. Please don't do that.
Please don't start a war with
Which I think is fair. You know, if the Band of the Red Hand is there as, like, a deterrent, I can understand that. But, like, getting involved in an actual conflict would be spicy, especially without Matt.
I loved, though, this moment where he's like, every member of the Band of the Red Hand feels like Matt needs us. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God.
That Taviran.
He has warder bonded all of them.
He's warder bonded.
This is the definition of positive masculinity. This is the for the boys mentality we need, is where we love our boys so much that when they are miles away and they need us, we feel the call of the wild, right? There's that tinkle in the tip of your dick. And every guy knows where that spot I'm talking about, where it's like, oh, my boy needs me. Jesus. And it's a different thing. And all of there is a band of the Red Hand that all have a tingle in that one little spot on their dick. Mm-hmm. They're
like, Matt needs us.
It's the spot that only tingles if you dig into your belly button in the right way. Every man in the world knows what I'm talking about, and women are like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Your dick?" Yeah, it's a thing. There's a nerve ending that passes, and so
that's the same on women.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, that's the same.
What, you're like clit tingles?
Kind of.
Oh, weird.
Like that, like general area. Like there is definitely a connection there.
There's a weird. It's
Sorry,
weird.
My belly button's not up here. That was weird. I was like, there's a connection.
The weird thing for men is that like it's like right at the tip, but you don't feel anything on the rest of your penis.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
James Smith, thank you for that super chat.
Talmains. No, and also Brett Babineau, thank you for that super chat. Mm-hmm. Just one cold day beer while watching my favorite book club with a super warm Friday in Calgary. Maybe just two.
A warm Friday in Calgary? What?
That's frightening.
What?
But what's up, Calgary? How you doing?
November.
How you doing?
Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate it.
I need to have more day beers during book club. Yeah, now that I'm not sick anymore and I can drink beer without getting sick. Because every beer made me sick in that apartment. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now that I can drink beer without getting sick, I need to have like a day beer.
We'll celebrate
we need to do
30K.
a drunk book club.
Yeah, we'll celebrate 30K.
Oh, when we hit 30K on YouTube?
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I also want to try and do high book club.
High book club.
I want to do a full book recap. Oh, maybe for the full book recap for this book, we'll do it high.
Why?
Why not?
Just for fun?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it.
We'll get so stoned and do stoned book club.
That seems like a bad idea.
I think it would be hilarious.
But like a very good bad idea.
Maybe on like the Monday we'll do stoned book club, and then we'll come back on Friday and do it for real.
No, we'll react to our own book club.
Jeremiah watches High every week. That's the right way to do it.
Love it. Path of Dankers.
Path of Dankers. I think we could do a double book club in a week and do it high first, and then come back and be like, we accomplished nothing, so let's actually get this shit. Sure. Let's get the work done.
That would be, sure, why not? If you want that to happen, when this video is done, go leave a comment on the video so we know that if people are actually would watch that nightmare of a train wreck.
So Talmains is the best.
Yeah,
the Band of the Red Hand is awesome. They're probably going to stay in Merindy, which is a little sad, but I'm kind of glad because I don't want them in the fight with Tarvalon because I don't want them to die because they're my boys.
Yeah.
My boy, look what you did to my boy! Meanwhile, in the back, the trumpets are like, burp, burp,
Jesus Christ.
The other big thing is that Gwaine is like, any woman who wants to be Aes Sedai and can channel can be Aes Sedai, and all of the women's nips get really hard, and they come up to her and they're like, "Can I become an Aes Sedai?" And she's like,
they're like, "So wait,
yeah.
do you actually like mean that?" And she's like, "Yeah." And that's the only thing anyone ever wants to talk to her about, because everyone else is like trying to pretend that she's not the Amberlin Seat. The Nerdy Slurdy Book Club.
Thank you for that super chat,
Thank you
Randall
for the super chat.
And so they leave, and we get into chapter 18, which is called A Peculiar Calling, and I got real excited because I turned the page on my. I didn't really turn the page. I swiped swiped left on my Kindle app on my iPad. Which is how I read, because black... guys, I don't know what this is, and maybe there's other dyslexics who feel this way, but white text on a black screen is easier for me to read than black text on a white screen, and I don't know why.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've found that.
It's very strange.
It's not just you, yeah. No, that's a thing.
But, like, now that I read on my Kindle, like, I own all these real books, and I'm like, but it's so much easier to read on my iPad because I can black screen it.
Yeah.
Anyway... it also helps that I like dark mode. Google Calendar. Can you add dark mode for Google Calendar, please?
That'd be nice, thank you.
On desktop. I know that I have it on my phone, but for fuck's sake, every other app on my fucking computer is in dark mode, and then I go to Google Calendar.
You're like, why?
Because we can share it, and it just burns my retinas. So I got really excited when I turned over to chapter 19, because the chapter icon is 5 dice. I was like, oh my god, maybe Matt isn't dead. Matt's not in this fucking chapter.
Do you think Matt's going to be in this book?
I don't, actually.
Yeah,
I think that this is going to be the Perrin
This is when Perrin
4.
disappeared. Yeah, 100%. We also, Egwene did talk to, and I didn't write down his name, but one of the Andorans?
Perry Wolf says, it's clinically proven that white text on a blue background is the easiest to read. I think that you just read your sex stories on xnxx.com.
What?
That was a deep internet cut from like 10 years ago. There's a porn site called xnxx.com, and it's blue, and there's like a sex story section. You can read like fan fiction sex stories, but it's white text on a blue background.
Oh, all right, sure.
Guys, I am terminally online. I know shit about the internet. I was here when the internet began, and I will be here when the internet dies in like
boomer.
2025.
Jesus Christ.
Because Elon Musk crashes it into the ground.
Fucking got a boomer over here. Egwene talks to, and I've forgotten his name now, but the guy who might try and potentially steal the throne from Elaine. They have like a really weird interaction.
Wait, what?
The guy, there's a guy from Andor that Egwene meets like right close to the end, I think. What's his name?
Oh, I didn't write their names down. Sorry, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy where like he like is like trying to avoid her so hard.
You okay?
I was trying to figure out where this happens in the book, but yeah, there's a little bit of drama with the throne. I think that Elaine's not gonna find it as easy as.
She won't, and then Rand will show up and be like, everybody shut up, she's queen. And they're going to be like, oh, that's right, you have superpowers and you're basically, like,
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah, never mind.
Sorry, Jesus told us that Elaine is queen.
Chapter...
20. No, chapter 19.
19.
The law. Chapter 18 was where the Talmain's conversation happened. I forgot that.
Yeah.
I was getting ahead of myself. Oh my god.
We're doing so well.
Samantha A. Nerdy smoking a cig. You know I can't smoke. You know I can't. I smoked for 2.5 weeks for Martin Scorsese one time, and I will never smoke again.
Only for Martin Scorsese and nobody else.
I did it to work with Martin Scorsese. It was the best 2.5 weeks of my life, and I will never smoke again.
Valid.
Yeah. I was there when the mountains were newborn and oceans virginal.
Jesus. Oceans.
I'm a little bit concerned at how many people in our chat are like, oh, I got that XNXX reference. And I'm like, oh God, like we're all... Robert Jordan's books would collect a bunch of heathens.
Oh, yeah.
To the fan base.
1,000%. I actually wrote down a note here that like the best part about a novel that always like fades to black for like sex scenes is that there could be fornicating anywhere. It's great. There's like, well, because there's moments in here where I'm like, this could have definitely gone further than you implied, and you're not going to write about it. So that's the best part, is that it's actually plausible, because we don't get to see the actual smut. What?
Wait, what the fuck?
What?
Are you guys? You're not.
What? What? What's wrong?
Is Kevin Conroy dead?
All right, maybe not.
Oh fuck. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe book club's not the best time to drop some news like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Wow, that was very sudden.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, so we are. God damn it. So we get into chapter, which are we? 19, the law. Which we finally actually get the payoff from this whole debacle that we've been having with Egwene, where we're like, I know you have a plan, and I know you keep saying not yet, you're going to put Ramonda and Lelaine in their places. We're going to put them in their places, and it's going to be, it's going to be great. And so we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this since Egwene was made Amerlin. So, for a while now, because Ramonda and Lelaine, walk all over her, and she's like, not yet. We get, they travel back across the lake that they probably should have, fallen through, because, weather. Gareth Bryan is like, I'm going to stay with you. And Egwene's like, no, I am fine. So she's going to call the hall to sit right away. Which, I know before we joked about that it could be an email, but this one definitely could not have been an email. So Egwene sits down. And, of course, Ramonda and Lelaine try and take over. They're like, I have some things I would like to bring to the table. And Ramonda's like, yeah, fuck you, Lelaine. I'm going to fuck you up. And Egwene's like, okay, so here's the deal. We need to declare war on Eleda. And everybody's like, what do you mean declare war on a person? We don't do that. And Egwene is like, calls on one of the Browns, I think it was. And I don't have her name here. Good.
Takima. Egwene is like, Takima. One of the other girls is like, Takima, is that true about the... Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I can't really put into words how much Kevin Conroy means to me. Especially recently with him coming out of the closet, and he's just my Batman. That, when I think about Batman, that is it for me. And so that was just a lot to be live and see and not know how to... I'm going to process that later today.
Yeah. I
want to finish book club, and I want to have a good time, and we're going to joke around, we're going to make sex jokes, and it's going to be dumb. And I'm going to take some time... I'm going to take some time with that later today for myself, because that is... that's a lot for me. He is truly one of my heroes in ways. I can't, I don't know. So many of my favorite things in the world, particularly in the DC world, he voiced, and I love that man. Mm-hmm. And then when he came out last year, it was just such a moving and incredible thing to learn that this man who I revered so much was also queer like I am. And so yeah, that was just very surprising, and I just needed a second to go blow my nose. And I'm going to be okay, and we're going to get through the show, and then I am going to go sit in my brand new, very comfy chair and play Batman Arkham City. Jason Trainer, thank you for being a member for 8 months.
Welcome back to the nerd table.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
For those of you who don't know who Kevin Conroy is, Kevin Conroy started voicing Batman, Bruce Wayne, in 1992, the same year I was born, in Batman the Animated Series. And he went on to voice Batman for like 27 years, I think, right up until Arkham Knight, I believe was the last thing he voiced, but he might have voiced something after that. I don't remember dates very well. He is the definitive superhero in my mind. He's Bruce Wayne in every way, and I have loved him for so long.
Yeah.
And that's one of those voices that has lived in my brain since before I have memories. And he means a lot to me, and that is very sad. But I'm okay, because at the end of the day, I still have all of the art and amazing things that he created. So he'll live on in me, and I'll try and do him proud.
Of course.
But yeah, wow, that is insane. Okay, so Egwene is in this. She calls the hall again. This time could not be an email. This was very important.
That's what I said.
Sorry, I was in the other room.
No, you're all good.
She's basically like, the law of war is such, and Takima's like, it is.
What she said.
And Egwene's sitting there like, Takima, you better keep your slutty mouth shut for like 30 more seconds. And Takima's sitting there like, I could ruin all of this, but like.
She's like, I know what you're doing.
I like Takima here. I was like, I don't know who the fuck you are, but you immediately became very interesting to me, because I think Takima wants to go to war?
Well, I think she realizes like the necessity, right? Like, she doesn't really hold much like power or sway in her towards herself, right? She's just doing her best, and she sees what Egwene is trying to do, and is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna let this just play out. So she's like, all right, who's declaring war? And we get a list of who's sitting up and standing up and who's sitting down. One of them has an outburst. It starts with an M as well, I think.
Moria,
yeah. She's like,
mine! They call her a mine!
And she's like, oh, guys, come on. Seriously? Elena needs to go. Just stand up. Let's get this done with. Like, don't be stupid. Arzu, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate it. You guys sound Siuan. Oh,
they've been watching us at 1.7 speed to catch up.
Yeah, so now we have the slow, slurry speech. Yeah, I feel that. And so
thank you, Arzu.
They stand. They get
because they don't know that once they get to the budget reconciliation number, they don't need to get to the full 60 to pass in the Senate. They only have to get to the budget reconciliation number. Yes, it's midterms week. Yes, we're talking about politics right now. Americans will know what that is, and everyone else is going to be like, budget? What is a budget reconciliation number? So once they get the lesser consensus, because it's a declaration of war, they don't actually need the greater consensus. Any consensus is enough, which is the budget reconciliation joke. I'm very funny, and I'm topical. And so they're like, well, you're not going to get to the greater consensus number. And Egwene is like, Takima, show him how big my dick is. And Takima's like, yeah, we're going to war. And everyone is like, fuck.
Yeah. Egwene is basically like, all right.
Henry Cavill walks in Geralt of Rivia makeup, and he's like, fuck.
And then leaves.
And then walks out.
So we have this moment where Egwene is like, so basically, I'm the boss now. I don't have to play your stupid games. Show some proper respect. You've been, you've been very rude, basically. She's like, I am the Amerlin. Now you have to listen to me. Go fuck yourself. And she's like, pew, 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 pew. And she shows them all up, which is great. I thought it was an awesome parallel to Elaine's similar moment with the Aes Sedai in Abu Dar. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, similar, but not the same.
No, I agree. I think we're seeing these young women become women. You know what I mean? They're stripping the young off of their titles there.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. It's making them much more interesting characters.
Yeah.
Steph, thank you for joining the Nerds.
To the Nerd Table, we appreciate it.
And so, they're going to war. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, basically the Amyrlin gets to make all the decisions now.
And Takima starts weeping.
Yeah.
Do you think she's weeping because she knows that she let this happen?
No, she is weeping because she knows she's going to get a spanking.
I don't think so. I think Egwene's going to protect her for doing Egwene's dirty work.
Yeah, but right now she sees Ramonda and Lelaine as being like a threat to probably her safety.
And that's where we leave off with Egwene. That's all we get from her.
Great moment to leave off on, honestly.
Do you think the Siege of Tarvalon is that big end of the book?
Do you think we're going to jump ahead by a full month by the end of this book?
I mean, there's a week between that and the end of the Rand section.
Delana, I think, is the one who vomited behind the bench. Because Halima's outside, like, watching, and Delana literally throws up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is weird, because, like, you would think that this is what Halima wants.
For Egwene to be fully enjoyed. I don't know, actually. I don't know.
It seems very chaotic right now, which seems like the Dark Friends should all be happy.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It seems like all the Dark One has told them to do is let there be chaos. So I'm like...
That we've seen.
That's super easy.
Yeah.
Like, if I was one of the Forsaken, I'd be like, my job is so easy. I would just go around, travel, and kill, like, every king on the same day. Mm-hmm. What could possibly be more chaotic than if every king in the world died at the same day?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if, like, Biden, like, Xi Jinping, Putin, if they all just died one day? Like, it would be...
It would be absolute chaos.
Oh, it would be insane. The market would crash.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even if just... Because I was watching this, like, documentary about what would happen if the president were to die in modern times. Because it's happened in the past, but it hasn't happened in, since I think JFK was the last president to be assassinated in office. And they were like, the stock market would crumble. Like, there would be a run on the banks because everyone would freak out.
Yeah, it would be an absolute nightmare.
And it would just be... I'm like, if I was one of the Dark Ones, if I was a Forsaken, I'd be like, chaos? That's easy.
Yeah.
Chaos is very, like, stability is hard. Chaos is easy.
Yeah.
But chaos is a ladder. Chapter 20. Into Andor. We're with Nynaeve, who's already in Andor, so I don't know why it's into Andor, because they went into Andor previously.
they're at the... yeah.
But Nynaeve heals everybody. She's like, pow, 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 pow. You're not hurt. You're not hurt. You're not hurt.
My favorite is one of the yellows, like, calls Nynaeve's weaves, like, sloppy or something like that, and she's like...
I fucking healed Stilling.
I know.
Shut up.
I know.
Learn from me, woman. Nynaeve is gonna, like, heal the taint off of Saidin, and the yellows are still gonna be like, well, you could have been a little bit tighter.
Yeah, sloppy work, like...
It's like when former NFL players are watching the Super Bowl and the team wins the Super Bowl and they're like, well, the defense could have been a little bit tighter. And I'm like, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So they go into the Elaine's family estate. Mm-hmm. And the poor people living there are like, what do we do with 200 people? No warning. It's the middle of the night. And Elise is like, don't worry about it. I don't even need to know where I am. I will organize this shit.
Get shit
and
together.
20 minutes later, everyone's asleep. And she's like...
I loved the moment where the nobles are all like sitting around the fire or whatever. And she comes over. She's like, I meant it when I said that the last people who are ready to go have to do the dishes, I think it is. And they're all like, oh... Okay. And then the next day, their packs are, like, far less large because they, like, leave a bunch of their extra, like, silk dresses behind because they're like, oh, shit, I don't actually need that. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. That was great.
Yeah, I think it's wild. I think it's very fun. I think Elise should be running all of Rand's estates. Like, Elise should be Rand's right-hand woman because everything would be fine.
Yeah.
Everything would be fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they stay the night there. A lot of the women are like, I'm not sleeping in the barn. And then Elise looks at them and they're like, yes, ma'am.
Oh, I've always wanted to sleep on straw. I wonder what that feels like.
We
also know that they're not getting anywhere with the dark friend, with the Black Aja.
Yeah, no, but they keep torturing her, which is like...
they're still torturing her.
America.
Yeah.
And so Elaine is out, just examining terrain grials. Mm-hmm. And she's being really careful with them, but then she examines one, and then she wakes up hours later, and no one will tell her what happened.
The rod, yeah.
It's like, what happened?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
I want to
Elaine.
know. It is rude for Robert Jordan to keep that from us. Because I'm like, okay, but...
Yeah, I know.
Like...
It's like Chainsaw Man not telling us what the prank that they pulled on Aki is.
Rude.
You know what
I know.
No.
She's like, okay, maybe I'll wait to study these until I have some, like, privacy so I don't embarrass myself.
Which makes me think that she, like, used it as a vibrator in front of everyone. I'm like, what happened? That...
Of course it's the dildo rod that, like, made you, like, forget what you did. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
So they start traveling across the country, and it's going pretty well, except for the fact that they changed the weather, and now there's snow everywhere, and it's cold. And so Avienda busts out a bag of jewels. And she buys everybody wool, blankets and stuff to make jackets
Cloaks
out of.
And, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And everyone, and Elaine's like, hey, where'd you get those jewels? And Avienda's like...
She's like, Rand tricked me. I was like, what? What do you mean?
Rand
tricked me. I'm like, okay.
I liked the bringing up, though. She's like, I tried to buy my toe, which is the least honorable way to do it, as you know.
I know,
Elaine's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, yeah, of course I know that, obviously.
Yeah. It's oh my god, it's so not honorable.
So bad.
I knew that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Elaine is like, I don't really want to know the details of this because I don't know, this could be very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like, does Elaine think that they're butt plugs that Rand gave her? Like, I don't know. But so yeah, it's the jewels from. Everything comes back in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
And the jewels from Lamon's sheath, they're back.
And they bought some warm clothes. So, they got put to good use.
Which is fucking so funny because Rand thinks about those jewels in the next chapter, or 2 chapters from now.
He's like, God, I wish my sword was cooler. Like...
I loved it.
Or my scabbard, I guess.
Well done, Robert Jordan. Well done.
Yeah, that was fun.
And Meryl gets pulled... Renail is like, it's time for me to get my Aes Sedai. And Meryl becomes her, like, personal teacher. And then,
yes.
becomes,
she's
like her lapdog.
Fulfill your part of the bargain.
And Meryl starts trying to getting treated the same way that the Aes Sedai who are with the Aiel and Tyrion are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, God, the Aes Sedai are getting humbled left, right, and center.
About time. It's about damn time.
In a minute, I'm gonna eat a cinnamon roll.
Oh,
do you want to get Cinnabon today?
Sure. We have to go get groceries, but sure.
Yeah, but when we go get groceries...
Sure, whatever you want.
Let's not go get, like, Cinnabon. Let's go to Cobb's and get, like, good cinnamon rolls.
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to Cobb's.
Why not? Cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls.
I haven't had one in a very long time.
And so, yeah, people are worried about Meryl, but she seems to be taking it okay.
Yeah, she's all right. She's kind of been cowed a little bit, so.
And so the girls go into Tel'aran'rhiod, and they go to meet with Egwene. And instead of Egwene has used the one power. This is cool. I didn't know that they could do this.
To leave
messages.
Yeah.
On the wall that are like, stay in Andor. Do not go anywhere. And then Nynaeve writes 15. And not like, because it's going to take them at least 15 days to get there. Yeah. And I was like, wow, just say like, be there in 15. Like, just writing the number 15 doesn't seem particularly helpful, but...
Yeah, like, I feel like you could just leave a paragraph if you wanted to. Steak, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy 11th birthday, Skyrim. Oh, man,
It's November 11th.
Yeah, I'm actually... this a little bit of a tangent, but tomorrow I will be doing a charity stream over on Twitch to raise funds and awareness for pancreatic cancer. So I'm going to be playing Crowd Control Skyrim. So if you want to troll me... and have it go to a good cause, come over to my Twitch tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Wheel of Time, thank you so much for that super chat, saying Marililla is a pro method of cunnilingus.
I mean, I am very good at cunnilingus. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to agree with that, yeah.
Marriage!
Yeah.
And that's where we leave off with the Wonder Girls.
Yeah. We get our boy, Rand.
Our boy. We're with Rand for the rest of this, y'all.
Yeah, so buckle up.
Chapter 21. Answering the summons. Rand sends Ashaman everywhere to pick people up. basically, this whole chapter is just Rand sitting around waiting as the Ashman go around to different nobles and are like, getting loser, we're going shopping.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Rand is like, okay, who's the list of people that I don't like and who opposed me and who are plotting against me? Go get all of them so that they can die for me. Yeah. And I was like, that is cold.
Yeah.
That is fucking cold.
And so he gets some Ashman in, led by Charles Gedwin. And so he's got a bunch of Ashman now. And he starts moving towards the mountains. And he sets up camp. And Lord Weramon is like questioning him. And he's like, dude, just shut up.
Weramon is the worst. He's such a dumbass.
I want him to die, and Robert Jordan is keeping him alive to spite me.
Yes.
I feel like this is I feel about Weramon the way I think like adults felt in the early 2000s about Jar Jar Binks. You know what I mean? Like, because I love Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I think Jar Jar's great. Mm-hmm. But I was also 7 when Phantom Menace came out. So like I have a nostalgic love for being a child and loving Jar Jar as a child.
Yes, absolutely.
But like if I was like 40 and Jar Jar Binks came out, I don't know how I'd feel about him. But I think that Weramon is teaching me how I would have felt about Jar Jar Binks if Jar Jar Binks was new today.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
He is the worst. And basically
Weramon is basically John Ralphio. That's what I said in the reaction. He's the worst. Yeah. Okay. John Ralphio is from a sitcom. What sitcom do you think John Ralphio is from?
John Ralphio. Is it a recent sitcom? Yes. It's recent. Okay.
Like 2000 sitcom.
2000s. Okay, that rules some of them out, actually.
And like big popular. Like not like some like it has 7 seasons. It's not like a 2-season.
7 seasons. Okay. So that's not How I Met Your Mother.
Mm-hmm. Which you would know. Like
that's the thing, as I feel like I probably would have known. Is he like the main character? And it's one that
I watch, so you know it's not Friends.
You watched it.
Yes.
It's a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
With 7 seasons. I don't watch sitcoms. What came out in 2000? It
is one of the biggest sitcoms of the last 20 years.
Really? Because I can't think of a goddamn one. I'm like going through the list of sitcoms that I know in my head, and it's Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay, it's not that.
Seinfeld.
No.
That 70s Show.
Okay.
Friends and How I Met Your Mother are the 5 sitcoms that I know. Is it Community?
No.
Okay.
Although...
Parks and Rec?
Yes! Yes! She got there. I'm so proud.
Got it. Okay.
We need to watch Parks and Rec. It's so good.
I don't really watch sitcoms that much.
Oh my god. Entertainment 720.
Okay, cool. We got there.
John Ralphio is the best character on that show. Not the best. Ron Swanson is the best character on that show. But proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Process of elimination.
I feel like every time we do the show, I give you like an SAT test.
On very useful things that I definitely should know. So yeah, Rand is like, fuck the Siuan, we're gonna go kick their ass, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's not telling anybody what they're doing or where they're meeting. He just gathers everybody and then he fucking portals them away. I'm like, all right, Rand, keep your secrets. Yeah. We also,
he sends Narishma.
Narishma brings him a package. Giggity.
Giggity.
And Rand is like, wow, I can't believe I trusted him to do this thing. And if you watched our reaction, I was like, okay, what do you think this package is?
Yes.
And I was like, I felt like my first instinct was Kalendor, but I was like, I don't think Rand would like trust anybody to do that and like forget those words. And I was also like, when I thought of a package, I didn't think like a package. I thought like a package, especially because he keeps it under his saddle, like it's like under his leg. Yeah. I was like, so it can't be. That's too big. But I was fucking right, and I want that to be known.
Yeah, so Rand pulls everyone together. I'm not going to do what Robert Jordan did and say all of the people who came together.
Yeah, we're not going to list them and tell you where they're standing and where they move to. I'm not going to lie. The next 4 chapters could have been exciting. Could have been 1 chapter.
Seriously. I'm not going to lie, chat. This might be a controversial opinion, but I did not enjoy this battle. Mm-hmm. Because the way that Robert Jordan spent 4 chapters repeating information about the same characters over and over again, I got I got bored here. And it was unfortunate because I think that the battle at the end of this was really interesting and like big.
Yeah.
But Robert Jordan's writing here really got in the way of my enjoyment of it, personally.
Yeah.
Because by the time the fighting started, the amount of repetitive, like he repeats information about Weramon so many times in these next 4 chapters.
I know.
And Sunamon, and like it got tedious.
The thing that's built up well that I think is good is the like weirdness around Saidin.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that you know, having that told over the length of time was kind of necessary. But yeah, the repetitive nature of where everybody's standing and who they're next to is like, yeah, you know what I
and
mean?
who's
like,
looking, like the paragraphs of who is looking at who. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to matter when they get to the fighting. And then it didn't. And I think the biggest problem I have with a lot of the description of these chapters is that like, there are whole descriptions of like, oh, these 2 people do not like each other. But then the POVs of their fighting never comes about. And so I was like, well, then why did we spend all this time with the setting up that those 2 people don't like each other because we don't get into all 5 of the battles, right? There's essentially, because the eventual plan is that Rand sends 5 pillars to go fight, which is kind of interesting, but that it doesn't get into the individual, like what each of those pillars is doing. But we spend so much time setting up who's in each pillar that I was like, well, why did we do that if it wasn't going to matter the fighting anyway? Because it just comes down to Rand sends a bunch of people in and then he just fucking nukes them with lightning.
Yeah.
And like, I Robert Jordan managed to take away my interest in this battle that I feel like I should have been really interested in. The first time an army meets the Siuan with the ability to actually fight the Siuan in all of these books.
Yeah.
The first time the Siuan have been on an equal playing field with another army, and Robert Jordan decides to spend the entire time describing like, well, this person was looking at this person and they held their reins really tight, and then they looked at this person, and then they sat and they moved their horse over next to this person, and then this person went down the hill this way, and then this, and I was like, I genuinely don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And by the time the fighting starts, the fighting comes and goes really fast at the end of endless description here.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, Dumai's Wells, if you compare this to Dumai's Wells, night and day.
Yeah.
Dumai's Wells was, I was sucked in. I felt like I was there for Dumai's Wells. I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I was being asked to not give a shit this time, which was very surprising to me.
There was just too much bloat, I think, in this chunk in particular. I think it could have been condensed a little bit better, but we start off where, like, so they travel, they go into the mountains, Rand almost gets killed because he can barely keep a hold on Saidin. So I keep fucking up which one is what.
Mm-hmm.
Like he keeps he's having a hard time right now. He gets dizzy when he grabs a hold of the source, and because of that, he ends up holding on to it for like most of this section, which is commented on. But
Light Blighted Fool is saying he's writing that way on purpose, from the perspective of individuals in the war, not a bird's eye view.
That's fine. It's just not interesting to read.
Yeah, and I agree. And,
yeah, that's fine.
And this is the first time we get the Siuan against equal footing, and we never actually get description of what that fighting is like.
Yeah.
We just get the fog of war, which is fine. I get it. Robert Jordan wants to write the fog of war.
Yeah.
But in this instance, what I wanted was to understand what it was like for the Siuan to come up against an army that can actually fight them for the first time.
Yeah.
And we get Siuan POV. I would have loved more what the Siuan feel like being up against an army that they actually are, like, challenged by.
Yeah.
And like I don't feel like I got that. What I feel like I got instead was chaos. And I get that that's what Robert Jordan likes to write, but he's written that so many times now that I'm like, we've done this before.
Yeah,
we've had this kind of battle before.
This just felt like a weaker, it felt like a weaker spot in the stuff that he's written so far, and it just was less enjoyable. And, like, it that doesn't mean it's bad by any means. Like, the bar is so high with Robert Jordan and all of his stuff because he's done some incredible things that this was a bit lacking. And, you know, if you enjoyed it, like, that's awesome. But it was a bit of a, like, struggle.
I feel like Dumais Wells managed to have the same kind of chaos, but with characters that I cared about, which maybe is part of it. Like, I just want Where I'm On to die. I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, I understood the other side a little bit more, whereas the Siuan I wish the 3 chapters before chapter 24 had maybe gotten into the Siuan side a little bit more, so I felt like I understood them. Mirage, great leader, he's dead. He comes and goes in one chapter.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, cool. He was there. I didn't know anything about him, and then he died, so...
Yeah, and the other thing as well is we do have that very final moment with the Siuan about, like, them mourning, and I do wish like I feel like that payoff wasn't as strong as it could have been if we had like focused on individual people in this battle as opposed to like where everybody's placed.
But
like,
but everybody's placed is only before the fighting starts. Once the fighting starts,
also, like,
I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
And I think the fog of war, I don't like that as an excuse here. Because the fog of war, like, well, no, but Robert Jordan doesn't want you to understand what's going on because that's how real fighting is. Sure,
that's fine.
I just don't think it worked here.
I think it didn't work for us. I think Robert Jordan made a conscious choice about this. Like, I definitely wasn't like lazy or unintentional. I think he made a choice with this section that like didn't work as well for us. I feel like for some people it probably does, but like, yeah, this section in particular I thought was a little bit lackluster. Jeremiah, thank you for that super chat.
I think some of this goes back to an earlier mention of skipping the editing process. I agree.
A little bit.
Here's the thing, right? If you only had the descriptions at the beginning of chapter 24, I wouldn't mind it. It's the fact that 21, 22, and 23 leading into 24 are also just descriptions.
Yeah.
And it's about the same character.
That's what I mean. This section, these couple chapters felt like they could have just been a smaller condensed chapter, and I think you still could have effectively gotten the scale of the ground that they're covering. Yeah. You could have definitely effectively set up that the Siuan think that there's a bunch of people out there, but it's actually just one group traveling, right? I think you could have still set up that the Saidin feels like off in a shorter, in a smaller number of words.
Because once the fighting starts, it does get good. The Davram Bashir stuff is real good.
Bashir is the goat, guys.
Who brought it up? I think it was someone brought it up in chat. The guy who fights Light Blind Fool. The description of the Ashman meat grinding the 100 soldiers, like that section, really cool. So there's these little pockets,
literally ripped to shreds. I was like,
there's these little pockets once the fighting actually starts, but it's just like it takes 4 chapters to describe that they're going there. That it just, I was like,
yeah, the getting there was a little bit rough, unfortunately.
And Path of Daggers is one of the shortest books, and this is the first book where I'm like, you could cut a lot out of this. We already know who Aramon is.
This section,
we've met these people.
But we do have a great moment where we actually see Dashiva being like.
Let's get to that when we get there.
Okay, cool. Sorry,
we have 3. Let's get through the 3 chapters. Okay. We've talked about it a lot. We will get to the Dashiva moment, but we have to start with chapter 22, Gathering Clouds, where an assassin tries to kill Rand.
Yeah.
Pedros Aegon, which sounds kind of like Pendragon, which was interesting to me.
Yeah.
He tries to kill Rand in the woods, and he almost succeeds. Like Rand, because Rand sends off his people to fight smaller bands.
He's having a tough time. Rand is like riding the struggle bus, and I think that we do really see that here and why things get so out of hand.
Yeah,
Rand is losing it. He gets dizzy when he grabs the Saidin. Now, we talked about this, and you were like, do you think that's because of what happened with the bowl? Yeah. Or do you think that's because of the madness and the taint? And
I really hope we find out. This is a mystery that I don't want to wait books to find out what the fuck's going on with the One Power.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly, it's gone on as long as I find it. Like the Rand using Kalendor, that is the climax of the mystery. If it continues to be a mystery, there's not going to be a second climax within the mystery. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
We've reached the most interesting moment about Saidin and Saidar being sick. reveal the information now.
Yes,
It will never get more interesting as a mystery than Rand using Kalendor and killing all of his friends.
Yes, I hope it is in this section somewhere. Even if it's not the full picture, at least, like, you know, please give us something. Topher, thank you for that super chat.
This is 100% Vietnam. Chaotic, don't know where your enemies are. Friendly fire, lots of casualties, but not much accomplished. Sure. But as a reader, what I get is the not much accomplished at the end of it. And I want to start... Here's the problem.
Robert Jordan has just done a better job of this previously.
But we're in book 8.
Yeah.
We need to start like, if this is just going to be chaos for the next 7 books, I think I'm going to get frustrated with that. And I want things to get accomplished. I want to feel like we're headed towards some resolutions and we're not just spiraling out of control. And the way that this chapter is written, it feels more like the second than the first.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos happened, and that's awesome. And like I loved reading parts of it, but I want to feel like we're headed somewhere, and sometimes I don't.
Yes.
And like there's just so many dangling threads right now in the stories that there's so many things that I want answers to that by the time I'm worried that by the time we get some of those answers, I'm going to have lost interest in it. Like I actually don't give a shit who killed Asmodean anymore. Because
it's been you know so far away. Yeah, we're like, yeah, he's dead.
The resolution of that does not matter. It's been 4 books.
Yeah.
And I'm a little concerned that some of these dangling threads are going to be left dangling for so long that the resolution of them won't give me that, like, oh, awesome, we resolved that. Because it's just kind of like I'm a little lost sometimes.
Yeah.
And Robert Jordan's writing is still so strong and his character work is so good that, like, I love these books. I'm still invested, but there's little things where I'm like, end things before you start new ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
We introduced Cat Swain over a book ago now, and she's been in like 4 chapters. You know what I mean? And so there's things where, like, there is so many different things going on. Min hasn't been in this book at all, right? There's a lot going on, and I just wish that I could feel... So when we get to a chapter like this where there's this big war scene that's chaotic and isn't really about anything, and like, we're just learning about all of these side characters who we spend so much time describing them so they just die.
Yeah.
And they don't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but like, we could have spent the 40 pages that I just spent reading about how this guy rides his horse on resolving things that you've left dangling for 4 books.
Yeah.
And like, that's where sometimes I just get a little bit like, with this.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. And so it's tough. It's tough sometimes. And yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot. They're introducing a lot more. And then when it gets to the fucking Siuan guy just naming regiments in the Siuan army, I was like...
Here's the thing. I really liked having the perspective of this section from a couple of the Siuan. I think there was too much extraneous information in it that it's like, no, I want this part to get to the point of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like having that perspective to tell me what's going on was really cool, and like what they thought about it, and, you know, and their opinions of the like Terabonners. But like, yeah, who's standing where and talking to who and wearing what is yeah.
When we get to it, the Rockin, learning about the Rockin culture is really interesting because the way Robert Jordan writes it, there is a point of view about the Rockin, right?
Yeah.
It means something.
Yeah.
When Mirage starts just naming a list of regiments within the Siuan, it doesn't...
I was like...
But it doesn't mean anything. There's no perspective on like which ones are good, which ones are bad. There's no... It doesn't come up in the fighting. And so it's just a list of words that have no meaning to me.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to list things off, I have to understand a little bit about what they are and why they're different. It goes back to the sentence that I hated last week. Of channeling when you're tired is different than other times is a bad sentence because... And guys, I want to be clear. You are describing one experience against others without giving context on in what way it is different. And sometimes Robert Jordan just writes things that are existing in his head, and I think that he has I think it's really solid in his head what it is.
Yeah.
But they're just things that don't mean anything to me. They're fantasy words that I don't have any perspective on.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, maybe they'll come back, but I think a lot of these people just die. So I'm like, oh, you gave me a list of I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
I legitimately don't know what those are.
Yeah, a lot of those people are dead.
And that's fine.
But yeah, we get to the point where Rand and his group over the next, I think, 5 days are traveling around so much and taking out all these groups of Siuan that like the what's his name?
Mirage.
Yeah, thinks that there's thousands and thousands of men out there and is very confused as to how they got into how they got past the patrols to get into the mountains.
Arzu Keshefapor, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you so much.
I don't blame you for your frustration. I remember my first read spending the whole of Path of Daggers just wondering where the maidens are and being sad they missed out on the battle. It gets better. Next book is my favorite. Can't wait.
Ooh, exciting.
Let's finish this assassin moment.
Yep.
So Rand channels when he's being shot at. He doesn't channel in time though, and then he just vomits everywhere because this sickness is wild.
Yeah. He's not well.
But he yeah, but he's on it. Who do you think gave Aegon Pedros? What? I thought it was Pedros Egan. It's Aegon Pedros. But when I read it, I read Pendragon. Oh. And so I thought it was the other way around.
That's okay. That's fine.
I don't know how I read it wrong and then in my notes got it right. Anyway, so the who do you think paid Aegon to kill Rand?
I thought that there was a note from oh no. I remember
they
now.
They think that it's Eleda.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of Tarvalon gold in his pocket, which is obviously a fucking runaround. There's no way that that Tarvalon is like, yes, kill him and we're gonna give you all Tarvalon money. Like that's
well, and
but Bashir is like I have Tarvalon
money.
Gold. It doesn't matter.
Guys, Rand is rich because he's plundered money from 7 countries. Like he's gonna their currency situation is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
do you think they have exchange rates?
Oh my god. I mean, here's the thing. It could be Alviarin or one of the Forsaken. Like this guy could be a dark friend.
I don't know. I feel like it's someone closer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's someone close. I think it's someone within Rand's company right now.
Maybe it's one of the Ashaman.
Weramon might be so fucking annoying to hide that he's actually brilliant. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Weramon being this fucking annoying, and that would be a delicious twist. If it turns out that Weramon's actually just like trying to kill Rand, but he's being so like, I'm gonna be all bluster so that no one suspects me, that would actually make him a real cool character.
That would be fun, yeah.
Blue, thank you for 5 memberships.
Blue, thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be one of the Ashaman. Because they're the who knew that Rand was going to teleport to that spot? Or could tell somebody. Like how was he just there? Was with them? But I thought Rand went first.
Aegon Pedros was with No, this is
because he's yeah. Because doesn't Rand go through first?
I would need to reread the whole section to know. I thought they were already there, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe an Ashaman.
Yeah, smash that like button, people.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Yeah,
Let's go.
If you're here and you haven't liked the video yet, it's free.
It's free. Just give it a little click. It's a little tap.
So we cut over to Asid Bakun.
Yeah, I guess that was
who is one of the Siuan. I don't know how you say Asid Bakun in a southern accent, so that is going to be interesting for the show to do. Acid Bacon.
Oh my god.
Ass Bacon. My buddy Ass Bacon over here. And he is he's leading some Taraboners. He's leading some Siuan, and he has some Domain, but the Domain are in their tent because they're sick or some shit.
Well, the one Domain was sick, and oh no, she's fine now.
Steak is thank you for that super chat. Steak. Nintendo crossover twist. Weramon is actually going to be one of the new Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Is a Pokemon? Yes.
Yeah. Next Friday, y'all, I will be catching a Weramon, and I will let him die in every fight. I will resurrect him to die over and over again because I hate him. And we learned a little bit about the Rockin'. Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster. And really cool. I liked the dive into the rock in here. I thought it was really cool to learn about like their culture, about how there's like an age limit. So like you age out of being allowed to fly. And we meet this character later on who's like, he believes in the Siuan, he's fighting for the Siuan, but he's kind of like pissed that he aged out.
Yeah.
Like that was such a big, and this is where learning about the Siuan was great, right? Was in this like cultural stuff that meant so much.
Yeah.
Because I felt bad for the guy. Can you imagine like you're flying your whole life? Pilots, there's an age limit for pilots, right? You can't be a commercial pilot past a certain age.
Yeah.
And can you imagine like all you love is flying? You just love flying planes, and then one day you just turn in your age, you hit that next number, and you can fly just as good as you could yesterday. But you hit the number. And so that thing that you love is taken away from you.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a really cool beat. And I really loved this bit.
Yeah. Giving the Siuan something a little more like relatable.
Yeah.
Because right now they're just evil.
To our character's perspective.
Yeah.
And to my real world perspective, because like their culture is very slavery and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved this bit with the rocket. I thought it was really freaking cool.
Perry
Wolf, thank you for gifting 10
God.
memberships. So many people at the we're gonna need a bigger table.
We're gonna need so many nargs at this table.
It's a good thing we have a new place because we have more like room for activities.
We have more, yes, yeah. Blue can't have all the fun.
Thank you so much, Perry Wolf.
Thank you guys.
It's nice seeing so many green names in the chat.
It is very nice.
I love it.
You love to see it.
So yeah, I love this system that they have. The Rockin' Riders are incredible.
Yeah.
Because there is a bendy pole that's very tall, and the Rockin' Rider swoops down, drops down, and is hanging from the claws of its dragon.
I know.
And it basically attaches a message to a carabiner mid-flight.
I know.
And then climbs back up. And I was like, I would have so much anxiety every time I watch this happen.
Yeah.
Like oh my God, can you imagine watching someone climbing around? It's bad enough watching someone holding onto a saddle in a dragon, but like watching someone climb down their dragon, have to hook a carabiner, and then climb back up all at the same time.
Oh my God, Blue, thank you.
I was like, God damn, this is so cool. Blue, thank you for 10 memberships.
Blue,
what the fuck?
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Wow. Guys, y'all.
Yeah, just
God
really
damn.
cool. Wow, Blue, thank you so much.
Thank you. So many members, guys. Everyone's
so many members.
Everyone's gonna be a member by the end of the show. Alex, thank you for that.
Thank you for that super chat. Nerd Association is very much understandable. The book is part of the slog for a reason, though. I don't agree with the slog. But we're gonna get more into the slog once. We're gonna do a whole book club about whether the slog exists when we finish the series.
Yeah,
I think my ultimate answer is gonna be no.
I think it's gonna have to be something that we can't have a perspective on until we're outside of it.
Yeah, but I think that ultimately it's gonna come down to Robert Jordan has Robert Jordanisms, and there's a point where you start to realize the Robert Jordanisms,
where you notice
and
them?
you feel them. They feel more because you know them.
Gosh.
Also, he's too many characters.
James Smith, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships.
But we get the first. Wait,
Thank
more.
you.
James Smith, what are you doing? What's you doing?
You guys.
I love that Pooh Daddy
Oh
got
my
a
God.
gifted membership.
Let's go.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there.
So many good usernames. You guys are slaying it. Love it. Wow. Thank you guys. Holy crap.
So, we get the first moment where the Siuan, the Rand's army has moved too quickly on the Siuan. They don't know what's going on, which I think was really cool. Chapter 20, Tree.
Oh, enjoy those emotes. Give them a try.
Fog of War, Storm of Battle. Yeah, there you get the narg. You can use the little narg in your little messages. In your little messages.
Excuse me.
Rand is overlooking one of the initial battles, the pre-battles before the battles.
The pre-battle, the foreplay battle.
That he did not take part in because poor boy's sick.
Yeah. I can't go out. I'm sick.
I'm sick. I'm
Boo,
gonna
you
sit on
whore.
my horse. Tie that jar.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? People can do things for me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, Rand, for the first time in this whole series, Rand does not really participate until the very end of the battle, which is very unlike him because
Yeah, it doesn't know what's going on.
He's got a little nausea. Oh my God, wait, Rand has what I had. He gets nauseous, he's throwing up.
Smoke. Yeah.
Oh my God. One of the guys he brought with him is a smoker, and he can't handle it. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's... Oh my God, I hope he doesn't have the diarrhea that I had.
Yeah, because someone's gonna have to clean that up. Oh man.
Oh look, there's so many Polarises in the chat.
He's so
More
cute.
emotes when? That's a good question. More emotes soon. We'll work on that. We need more book club emotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
What are like some guys? Drop in the chat. What are some Wheel of Time related emotes that you guys think we need?
Yeah.
We need a fireworks one.
A fire. Yeah. And a horse.
We need a Tarvalon one. That's just a vagina.
I don't know. I think that's against TOS, but yeah.
We need a horse and a human, and the human's a little bit ahead.
Oh my god.
So Rand brings up Min. He's like, oh yeah, Min had visions of that guy dying. And I was like, Min, remember Min?
Remember Min?
Character who I thought was a main character?
I miss her a lot.
Aracom. Aracom died, and Min foresaw it. Matt, anything about that super chat? The Rockin' are totally flying past London to have the groundlings at the Globe Theatre throw rotten fruit at them. They started to use the word groundlings, and in my world of improv, groundlings are one of the best improv troops. It's if you're in LA and you want to learn improv, it's either groundlings or UCB. So hearing groundlings over and over again cracked me up. As you can see in the reaction that we did.
We should definitely have a smut corner emote.
Oh yeah. Nobody puts smut in the corner. And so Bashir's patrols bring in a bunch of prisoners. And Rand's like, let him go. But keep the women with us.
Well, yeah, they're too dangerous.
Yeah, but like, it's also dangerous to like let a bunch of foreign invaders go.
Here's the thing. I don't think that that enough of them survive that they could be a threat.
It's 100 men.
Well, Rand just doesn't want to kill them all.
I know, but like, they're going to become bandits in Altara. Like, here's my problem with it. Rand just spent all this time going around Ilion cleaning up bandits.
Maybe.
And now he's one country over and he's like, nah, leave them to go be bandits.
Maybe he's hoping that they'll be like, oh, the dragon spared my life. I'm going to go join his army.
Yeah, sure.
Very optimistic.
Sure. Sure.
It's fine.
Sure. I don't know. This is one of those beats where I was like, sure. Like, at this point in how many people Rand has killed, for him to be like, no, this is a bridge too far, I was like, all right.
Well,
sure.
I mean, I don't know. Killing people in battle and executing prisoners are different things.
Letting them go to just do whatever they want is not, like, I feel like he needs a better plan than that. I'm not saying he has to execute them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
letting them go is maybe not the best plan,
Yeah.
but still. Yeah. I don't know why that was held. The wet and the peach emoji. I don't know why that was
because that's
held.
coming on an ass.
I know that.
You need emotes for Claris is right and Nerdy is right for voting. Oh, we need Claris and Nerdy emotes.
But we can also always do a poll. We learned how to do a poll.
And Polaris is an emote, so you can use that for Claris.
That's true. My little dragon boy, he's in there.
Polaris is a boy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Polaris was a girl.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure.
I've never checked. I've never done the underside. Like
me neither. There should have been a better plan there. I don't think letting them go or executing them is the best thing. So I don't know what they're supposed to do, but
But also, like, they're jumping forward, and so they're just letting these guys go behind them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems dangerous. But we cut over to Furik Kharid, not to be confused with Kadir. Let's just swap the R and the D in the name.
Yeah, why not?
There's too many fucking names in these books. Kharid is moving his people around, trying to gather different outposts together because they're getting hit over and over and over again. And he's like, I feel like we're not hearing what's going on from our scouts very much.
Yeah.
It's a little concerned. And then they just get attacked.
Yep. More dead people.
Yeah, so they kind of just get crushed by the one power here. And no warning. Sorry. Boom.
Ashandra, thank you so much. Welcome back to the nerd table. Need a hopper and red hand. That would be pretty easy.
And we just need an F with a big hat and a wolf medallion on it, or a fox medallion.
God.
And so Kareed starts the retreat, and this is kind of the first time we see the Siuan retreat, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ashaman are just coming at him, and they don't even know Ashaman exist, which is crazy.
Yeah, Rand's like, yeah, my plan is working. And Bashir's like, yeah, we've done some good work here. Time to go home. And Rand is like, but what if? Now, hear me out. Actually, I don't care what you have to say. We're going to go take Abu Dar. And I was like,
before we get to that,
hey.
Nalam is like, yo, I don't want anyone to think I'm crazy because they will put stuff in my tea. Does anyone else feel like Saidin's a little weird?
Yeah, it's like some funky's going on.
Anyone else feel like Saidin's a little...
Rand is like, no, you're dumb. Like...
Saidin's a little weird?
Yeah.
Anyone else? No, just me. Cool.
No.
But I'm not crazy though. I want to be...
Just want to be very clear, I'm not going mad.
Only tea in my tea tonight, please?
It feels a little funky, you know? Something funky's going on. We need a tangent emote.
Yeah, and Rand is like, yeah, it's Saidin's tainted. I don't know what... Stop complaining.
Yeah, Rand is like, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Like...
And so, yeah, they keep pushing, and this is where Bashir's like, hey, maybe we should call it. They're retreating.
Maybe, we've done some good work here, let's go home. And Rand is like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, like, which is the right call, I think, in this case.
Really?
Yeah, you got to at least push them out of the mountains. If they're still in the mountains, they're a problem. I don't think you, all the way to Abu Dar, I think is too far. Because you don't know what's waiting for you in Abu Dar. But I think that you've got, like, being able to hold the edge of that mountain pass versus having to fight within the mountains, it's going to be so much easier to keep them out of the mountains in the future than it is to continue to fight to hold a line within the mountains. If you're going to hold a line, it has to be on you have to use the edge of the mountains as cover, because fighting within the mountains is just so much harder, right?
Yeah.
But if you can push them out of the mountains entirely, you can set a few scouts and you can hold the mountain wall so much easier than you can hold the middle of a mountain pass.
Yeah.
Because you can see, once you have them on the other side of the mountains, you can see them coming from miles, right? And then you can Ashaman teleport over, blah, blah, blah. This is because he doesn't know what to think. Once he knows that there's something wrong with Saidin, he should pull out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But at this point, he thinks there's nothing wrong.
Rand's pullout game weak.
His pullout game is weak.
Yeah.
And like from a strategic point of view, leaving them to hold the middle of the mountain range and fortify in the mountains while they're on the retreat, getting them on the retreat gives you so many tactical advantages that allowing them to build a stronghold within these mountains makes it just really hard.
Yeah. Hal, thank you so much for that super chat. 2,782 named characters, and they're all super important. Jesus Christ.
Yes, they're all super important, and they all have variations of like 5 names.
Yeah.
Remember when Rand killed Brend and took over his...
Yeah.
Wait, I thought our king was named Brend. No, it's Rand. It's a different person. Are you sure?
You sure?
Or are we just pronouncing Brend differently?
So Rand is like, all right, we're going to fuck
They don't
up
even
Abu Dar,
have to like make new plaques and shit. They just have to scratch a B in front of, or they have to scratch out the B. And they're like, oh yeah, this was King Brent, but now it's King Rand. We just like, polished out the B. Like, and so...
So yeah, we get to the next chapter. Because Rand is like, we're going to go take Abu Dar.
Well, but first they get attacked by some Siuan. And Rand loses control of himself and he falls off his horse.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not okay.
Yeah.
Which is why in the next session we finally get to Dashiva.
Yeah, so Bashir comes back and saves him after he's fallen off his horse. The like left, one of his flanks was like mysteriously not there because Weramon had like charged forward because Weramon's an idiot. And so they get attacked, and Rand's in a little bit of danger because he can't do shit right now. And Bashir saves him and is like, let's go home. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to go home. We're going to keep going.
Yep.
Chapter 24, A Time for Iron. You can go watch us react to this. If you're a Patreon member, you can put this on and listen along with us.
Yeah.
Which is very fun. Mm-hmm. From now on, y'all, I think that's going to be the only version of those audiobook chapters that go out. I don't think we're going to do the edited versions anymore for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to keep doing one audiobook chapter a book, and that is going to go up for YouTube members and for patrons as a more of a private video for a number of reasons, including like algorithm, and also just they're a lot of work, and I don't like the edited versions personally.
Yeah, it's tough to make an interesting video out of it. So yeah, we're gonna...
the watch time on that is bad.
Yeah, it's
for
just
how many hours of work it takes me.
It's just I don't think it's worth it moving forward.
So this will be the last public audiobook reaction, but from now on, patrons, you're still getting them, and YouTube members here. Yeah. Blue made like 30 of you today, so you guys will be. There will be like a private members only video for that in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are going to head into chapter 24. Mm-hmm. We actually start with Kenner Mirage, which I love his name because Kenner makes the best Star Wars toys.
Oh, I was like, what? He's like plotting things out. He's like super weird how they can move around. There must be so many people in there. And Suroth coming in with the info.
Yeah.
Suroth and a friend.
Because he's like, there's like 90,000 people out there. Like, Rand has an army of like 90,000 people.
Yeah.
Y'all, if there's another moment, like at least like she spun around before he could come up her from behind, I might pull out that. There just won't be a full video.
Yeah.
If there's a moment that is like that hilarious, it'll be a short. It'll be on TikTok. It's going everywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not messing around with that.
Yeah. There will be moments. Yeah, those videos just don't do super well. So, you know, and they're a lot of work.
Yeah. They're a ridiculous amount of work for what they end up doing.
But High Lady Suroth shows up and is like, hi, I believe that Rand has rediscovered the ancient art of traveling.
And he also has Ashaman with him, and he also is this, and his name is Randall Thor, and he's from the Troopers. And I was like, oh, Suroth has a little bit of information here that the Siuan should not have.
Because she's a dark friend. And guess who else is a dark friend? Leandrin.
Yeah, we messed up in the way we listened to this.
What do you mean?
So, Alwyn is leading a Dakoval who is a Damani.
Yeah.
And Leandrin is a separate Damani who is not collared.
Wait, no, Leandrin...
I went back and read it again. Leandrin is not wearing a collar here. Because at the end, if you go to the end of our reaction, I brought up the fact that I was like, how is Leandrin Damani? She cannot touch the one power.
Yeah, I thought that Leandrin was collared and in a sheer dress.
Leandrin is in a sheer dress.
Yeah.
They're two separate paragraphs. When we were listening to them, and this is why audiobooks don't work for me, is because these details are sometimes hard for me to put together in my brain.
Yeah.
Leandrin is just a normal Dakovale. But there is a Damani Dakovale who is standing in front of her.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
I missed that.
What happens is, how we got confused, I believe, is that the first, Mirage looks at the first Damani, and Alwyn realizes that he's looking at her, and so she makes that Damani kneel. And then, separately to that, she tells Leandrin to kneel.
Okay.
Second, because Leandrin doesn't kneel with the first Dakovale.
Okay. Gotcha.
But it's a little bit confusing when you're listening to it.
Okay.
But they're both Dakovale, but one of them's Domain and one of them is Leandrin, but Leandrin doesn't have a collar, but the other Dakovale standing right next to Leandrin does have a collar.
Great. I'm glad we got there.
I'm glad I went back and reread the chapter in the book because,
that makes more sense. Methany, thank you for that super chat.
Falling behind a bit here, but Saidin is weird here is definitely my new my dog ate my homework.
Nice. I love it. I'm gonna definitely use that. I'm not mad, I swear, but like Saidin's super weird here.
Elizabeth Plouffe, thank you for joining the Nords.
Welcome to the nerd table. Appreciate Let's go.
Suroth is like, you're gonna fight them, and Mirage is like, I don't want to, and Suroth is like, but you're going to, right? And he's like, Yep. I only
have one painted fingernail. So I guess I have to do what you say, even though you're
I have to paint more fingernails so I can shave my head. I thought this was a little bit silly. The Siuan are a little bit silly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Their culture is their culture's a lot, and like the painted fingernail thing got silly to me. Yeah. And like, if you don't do this, I'm going to clip your fingernails. And I was like, sure.
Which means a lot to them, but yeah, for us it's like.
But also, like, any culture where, like, they have, like, prescribed haircuts, I'm like...
Ugh, so annoying. What if that doesn't look good on my face shape?
I know.
Rude.
I know.
Rude.
I know.
Yeah, so they're gonna do battle, and, she's like, yeah, the Ashman, so watch out, be careful. And, then, we get the chapter that we reacted to, and there's a bunch of, fuck you, yeah, got him.
Ben Kelly
there's a fly.
says, sponsored by Audible, audiobooks don't work for me. Yeah,
They
that's
work
true.
for me if I've already read the book.
I'm not, look, I'm going to be very honest. Audiobooks are not my thing, but I know that they are for other people. And I think that Audible is a great service. If I've read a book a couple of times and there's like, I would love to listen to Rosamund Pike read Eye of the World.
Yeah.
If I've already read the book. I just, my brain can't process an audiobook as the first reading.
That's me too. If I've read the book first, I love listening to the audiobook of it. But yeah, it's hard for me on a first read.
We were listening to the Silmarillion audiobook because of Audible. And because I've read the Silmarillion, I really enjoyed...
Yeah, that was a lot.
I really enjoyed the experience of listening to the Silmarillion because I've read it before. Mm-hmm. But doing the audiobook reactions are tough for me sometimes because we get a lot wrong because we are hearing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I've read it before, then I do really like audiobooks.
Yeah.
I think look, here's the thing. I would not be shilling for Audible every week if I didn't think the service was really good.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing thing what they do.
Audiobooks are great. Audiobooks are expensive, and Audible makes audiobooks actually kind of affordable.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they're a good service, and that's why, it's Amazon, but, like, that's why I'm willing to, like, put them on our show. Because I legitimately think this is not me shilling. We do not make enough money for me to, like, be this kind to Audible. I think that Audible makes audiobooks viable for a lot of people who are not going to spend $75 on an audiobook.
Yeah.
Audiobooks are so expensive. And so, yeah, I think they're great. And if you love audiobooks, I love that.
Yeah.
Go to our audibletrial.com/nerdynightly and get them. If you don't love audiobooks, that's okay too. Books exist.
Yeah.
I prefer to read a book first and then maybe listen to the audiobook later. Mm-hmm. That's just my preference, but I still think Audible is a great service.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. But yeah,
Clarice did not enjoy the Silmarillion audiobook. She did not.
God, that was so many words, made up words.
You weren't as familiar with the Olwe and Manwe and all of that, and so those words were really tough for you.
They're all too similar.
Whereas I knew who he was talking about because I've read it before.
Yeah.
Scott Cat says audio is way more confusing when there are a lot of characters with similar names. I agree.
Yes, that's why the Silmarillion.
This is really tough.
Or this, this is, Mm-hmm. So if I read it first, I can differentiate them because I can visual. But yeah, otherwise. Anyways, Rand's up in the mountains.
Yes.
And
Bashir's like, maybe let's not do this, but Rand is like, no, we're going to do this.
And this is when Dashiva is like, dude, look at Saidin. Please, for the love of Christ and all that is holy. And Rand is like, oh, yeah, it is kind of weird.
I'm so excited for the actor who plays Dashiva to get this moment. You can't cut this moment. This is rad.
Yeah.
This was so cool.
Yeah.
You can see in the audiobook reaction, we're both like, Dashiva, like, what is this? Whoa, this is a different side of this character. It was really nice.
Yeah. And it's scary because you're like, yeah, no, he's right. There's something funky going on.
And I know we complained about this chapter and this section earlier. We spent a good amount of this podcast talking about it. This is when this chapter is really good. When it gets into, and the Rockin thing, right? When Robert Jordan in this is really coming from a specific character's point of view about things that matter to that character, this chapter is really good.
Yeah.
It's when the characters are just kind of generally talking about other things around them that they don't have a lot of an opinion on, that it gets a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But this moment with Dashiva, chef's kiss.
Fantastic.
Loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved it even more the second time I read it. Because when I sat down and read this on my iPad, like I was like, when I was really getting into the words and what Dashiva's saying, like he's trying to be respectful. He really is, right? Like, he's coming at Rand, this man who he's scared of.
Yeah.
And who will kill him if he steps out of line. He's coming at him in a really honest way at first. And he's trying to be respectful. But the vibration on his weaves is so strange to him that he's like, no, I have to break protocol here.
Yeah. And coming from somebody like Dashiva as well, where Rand can kill any of the Ashaman and claim that they went mad. And nobody can question that.
Yeah.
No, nobody can. You have to be like, oh yeah, if they weren't mad, like you had to like put him down, basically. And so Dashiva really like making this choice.
Yeah.
I think says a lot about him and really made me see him in a different light. So I did really appreciate that.
That was great.
And then we get into the war to war.
But despite that, he does look at the word. It's vibrating weirdly, but he doesn't think too much of it.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, we're already here. Doesn't matter.
And he sets his army in motion.
Yeah.
We cut back to Mirage. And so he doesn't scout with the Rockin because Suroth says there aren't enough. and it's not worth it.
It's not worth risking
because the
them.
Ashaman can kind of like lightning them out of the sky.
Yeah, totally fair.
And so he doesn't really have as much information as he wants. But he's got like 50 domain, and he's like, we're gonna be okay.
It's like, we're Gucci.
And so we cut over to Bartom Siuan, who is, kind of coming to the realization that Rand is sending them to die. And he starts to be like, maybe we should mutiny here. And he starts trying to like engineer a conversation, which was really interesting. Like, yeah, like there's a point where it's like, well, if you're it's either you kill me or I die here. I might as well mutiny.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die. And it kind of got, I don't want to talk about that. That's this week. Never mind.
But then before that...
I was going to go with an allegory to something else that we watched this week, but I don't want to
no.
spoil it.
I understand.
The feeling of like, I would rather die of doing my free will than behaving as a tool for you is a really interesting character motivation for a character whose name
we barely really...
I was like, oh, this Bertome guy's really cool.
Cool, and
Who
then...
the fuck is Bertome?
They die because they get attacked, and so there's no time to mutiny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like trying to get Weramon on his side. Nope. Attacked.
Boom.
Yeah, and so Mirage has learned that there are these 5 pillars. They've kind of split up into these 5 pillars to try and... Here's my thing with this. Why wouldn't you travel and flank them? Okay, so they split out into 5 pillars and head straight from those 5 angles. Why not hit from all 5 sides?
I think because they don't have enough information to know whether or not there's like other waves coming. If you flank someone and there's someone else behind them, that segment gets crushed in between 2 armies. And if you don't have a full visual of the battlefield, I think it might be too big of a risk.
I also was kind of thinking, why not travel to the other side of the mountain and just catch them on the plains on the other side? Well, then the Rockin are actually more dangerous there outside of the mountains. That might actually be too dangerous. It doesn't matter.
I don't claim to be a master at like battle planning, but they probably should have had Matt there.
So Varric, we cut to, he is carrying an urgent message for Chiang Mai, and he's super disturbed because he watched one dude, one Ashaman, tear through 100 men. We talked about this earlier. Awesome moment.
Brilliant.
Really, really, really cool. And when he gets there, Chiang Mai is dead. Everyone's on fire, and he's like, yo, what the hell happened here? He's about to start like scolding people before he sees that like half of them are dead and they're on fire.
Yeah.
And the guy is like, well, the domain was fighting, and then the domain started to kill us, and the Sul'dam like loses her shit. She's like, this is a good dog.
My pet would never do that. Oh god, so gross.
But yeah, this is the first instance where we see that not only is Saidin a little bit fuzzy,
but so is Saidar.
Yeah, What do you think the reason is? If you had to guess.
So,
do you think it's the bowl?
At first I thought it was the bowl. Mm-hmm. But I actually think it's Elaine.
Oh, the nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she fucked up way harder than we realized.
But then why wouldn't it affect them on the other side?
I don't know. But, well, actually, no, that doesn't make sense. Because after the bolt is used and before the nuke goes off, they say that it feels funky in the air.
That's true.
They say that it feels
so
weird.
Maybe it is the bowl.
Maybe it is. Yeah.
Maybe it's that so much Saidin was used. Because when they link, they can use so much more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that like so much Saidin and Saidar was used to do that for the bowl, because they were like trying to do the whole world at once. Like maybe if they had done it like regionally and like popped around with the bowl and done a bunch of places back to back to back, it wouldn't have been as much Saidin and Saidar.
They did too much.
But maybe they like pulled maybe like the world is a little bit burnt out. Because like they can't burn out because they're linked, and we know that you can't burn out while you're linked. But maybe rather than like them being burnt out, maybe like the world is.
Can you not be burnt out when you link?
No.
Oh.
One of the advantages of linking, and this is why everyone has a problem with the show, is one of the advantages of linking is that you can never pull your full power. So like you can pull so much more as a group than you usually can.
Yeah,
but you can't burn out because while you're linked, you can't personally burn out.
Okay.
And so that's why when the show has what happens in episode 8 happens, people were so upset because they're
I understand.
that like is not how the one power works in the books.
Yeah, I think that it has to be the bowl because they feel the weirdness before Elaine makes the like bombs, whatever, like that happens. So yeah, it's probably that like the bowl was never meant to be used on that scale, and it made the one power like maybe like unstable for now. And here's the thing, is it an area that's unstable? Is it anyone who is in a certain vicinity it's unstable? That I don't understand.
I think it's an area because I think that as they're heading closer, the men start to feel it.
Yeah, but Rand has been sick this whole time,
I think
so
that
the sickness has to be the madness.
I think that Rand is tied to the power in a way that nobody else is. I think that as the Dragon Reborn, he is like, everyone else can channel the one power, but Rand is the one power. Do you know what I mean? Like Rand is connected to it in a way that nobody else could be. So if Saidin and Saidar are sick, Rand is sick. Not in the same way as everybody else. Until the end of the chapter, he loses control as well. But I think that the one power is Rand, and Rand is the one power in a way that is not true for like an Ashaman or for an Aes Sedai.
Interesting.
And so I think that he has just been sick since the one power was sick.
Okay.
And everyone else starts to feel it when they get closer, but he would feel it anywhere because he is just like, it is him in a way.
Okay. Interesting. I like that.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because those are the things that are not quite like adding up. There's something funky going on here, but I do think it is the bowl.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah.
So Varric is like, we're going to need that domain to be working when we head south. And the Sildam freaks out and gets a little pale. And he's like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? Yeah. We cut over to Davram Bashir, a good boy.
Good boy. Best boy.
And he's overlooking some stuff. He's like looking down on a field. And he's like, well, it's going to be, I don't know if I want to go that way because it's going to suck. It's going to suck. But Rochaid is like, I can do it this time. And Bashir's like, yeah, but are you gonna be good? You good, bro? And Rochaid's like,
you good, bro?
I'm good. Have I not killed enough people today? And I was like, oh, something happened with Rochaid off screen. That what happened?
Yeah.
You're not gonna tell us?
I don't know if we're gonna know.
But this is where the fog of war argument falls apart. Is that yes, there's a fog of war, but Robert Jordan is specifically not showing us even what our characters see.
Yeah.
There's too much that is fog of war, but then also on top of that, I'm going to have my characters talk about something that they know about.
Yeah.
And is affecting the decision making that they're doing.
Yeah.
And this is where you can't have it both ways. You either need to tell us what's going on in the battle or have the fog of war, but to not tell us and then also have fog of war on top of it, it just gets confusing.
Yeah.
What happened with Rochaid? I don't know.
Don't know.
Probably something cool.
We may not
probably something bad.
Find out at all. So
if you're going to do the whole like, well, war is confusing, it can't be confusing from the perspectives of the characters we're in the perspective of.
Yeah.
And this battle, and this is what Dumais Wells didn't do. I really understood what was going on with Perrin and Dumais Wells. Mm-hmm. There was a fog of war. The whole war was chaotic. There was a lot going on that was all over the place. But when I was in Perrin's perspective, I knew what was going on with Perrin. Mm-hmm. This is not doing what Dumais Wells did, where we're cutting into Davram Bashir's point of view and going, wow, that was crazy, huh? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know.
Because the characters know.
Can you show me?
Right? The characters know what happened to them, but we don't.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets, that's the step too far for my enjoyment of this chapter.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we go back to Rand. Mm-hmm. Lord Brand. Sorry.
Well, Bashir does order. They go around instead of they're not gonna go through the field.
Yes.
That's where he decides.
Yeah, Rand's having some trouble with the power. He's not doing too hot.
Yeah.
And so you know that something bad is about to happen. The foreshadowing is definitely there.
I was kind of hoping we were gonna get 5 point of views. Because there's 5 pillars. I was hoping we would get 5 point of views. We don't.
No.
I don't know what happens in some of those pillars. But,
yep.
Rand's been holding on to the one power all day because he doesn't want to let go of it. This was an interesting. I liked this.
Yeah.
He's just holding on to it because it's being fully outside and fully inside is easy. It's the transitions where he gets really sick.
Yeah, where he gets sick and fainty. Yeah.
And he's standing next to Adley, who also off screen. This time we at least know what he did off screen, but off screen slipped up and killed a bunch of people.
Yes.
Yeah. And so he's keeping Adley close because he doesn't want that to happen again.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he just kill Adley?
Well, because he needs him right now in the battle. Like,
but Rand's whole thing is once someone looks like they're going mad, you kill them.
But he's also struggling with the power, and Dashiva said there's something weird with the power, so it would be weird to...
I guess maybe he's assuming... But like, okay, but then if Rand is assuming... Okay, but if we go that way, if Rand does not kill Adley for going mad here and killing his own people, because he thinks... Then why did he kill his own people?
Because because Saidin is like doing its own thing, and Rand can see the weaves, so he knows what Adley's intentions were, and then realize the effect of it.
Right. But follow me here. If Rand is not killing Adley for going mad and killing his own people because he thinks that it's because there's something wrong with Saidin, why does he think the right answer is to wield more Saidin?
Because he's cocky.
I don't think that he realizes there's something wrong with that. That Saidin, the problem with Saidin is the reason why Adley did that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because if he thinks that Adley loses control because there's a problem with Saidin, then I think that the logical next step for him would be to not wield more Saidin. And so I think that he can't make that assumption about Adley. I think that he thinks Adley's losing it.
Rand is very cocky in this section. He's like, fuck it, I am God. And yeah, he whips out Kalendor, which I called.
Well, but first, before we get to that,
okay.
Bashir shows up and tells Rand that he ordered a full retreat.
Yeah.
And Rand gets up. So that's, Bashir gets back first. And Rand is pissed, right? Yeah. He's like, how dare you? I'm the leader. You don't order a retreat. I order a retreat. And Bashir's like, what are you going to do? What is your big plan here? And Rand is like, well, and he's like, I'm going to wait until everybody gets back to me. And then I'm going to wield some power. But then Bashir is like, no, we're leaving now. And Rand is like, well, fine. Then I'm not going to wait for everyone to get back. Which is like, wow, you're going to kill a lot of people by not waiting. But sure, I guess get petty because Bashir said something. And then he pulls out Kalendor.
Yeah.
And you were right.
Yeah. I was surprised that I was right because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But okay, sure. Rand is losing himself here for sure, especially with the loose Theron of it all.
Loose Theron's just in the background like...
yeah, he's like, yeah, kill them all.
Kill the Ashaman.
Oh my gosh. So he wields Kalendor, and he's like, before I did this thing where the lightning like seeked out my enemies. He's got the
Shadow Spawn.
He's got the thing from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Yondu's arrow.
Yeah.
Nice pull. I like that.
Thank you. And so he decides that's a good idea. And lightning rains from the sky, slaughtering people on all sides of him.
Which he doesn't realize, though. All he knows is that a weight hits him.
Yeah.
And suddenly he's on the ground, and he's like, oh my god, they're attacking back. And then he keeps going. And then he looks up.
And Bashir is like, stop it!
And Bashir is like bleeding from his face.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And so then he turns and realizes the lightning's behind him too.
Yeah, it's not just in front of him, it is behind, it's everywhere, and he has just murdered everybody.
Yes. And then the book is like, I've lost. Oh no, I've lost. Did Rand lose this fight?
Everybody lost, yeah.
Kind of, but not really.
I think everybody lost. But, Rand definitely, sent them back, scurrying back. But the Siuan are not leaving, right? They're not gone. They're just going back to the city to lick their wounds. So.
But he killed the general. He killed a lot of them.
He doesn't know that.
And Rand specifically brought the people that he brought to die, except for Davram, who lives. So, but if we go by, stated goals...
Yeah.
Rand's loss here is that people think that he's crazy.
Here's the thing. We talked about this section because you were like, well, it's not really a loss for him. And I think that I agree with you, and I think that the point of view that's at the end of this section, because we get a Siuan point of view, where we learn that they have been decimated.
Yes.
Right?
That they're crying. The Siuan don't cry. And, like, Yulan is crying over the body of Kenner.
They've been absolutely ruined. And I wish that Robert Jordan had let us sit a little bit longer with the idea that maybe... Because Rand is like, did I even like hurt them at all?
I
don't
1,000%.
know. Yeah, I wish Robert Jordan had let us stew in it a little bit longer before revealing that the Siuan were hurt in this.
This was a time where I didn't need the answer to the question so fast.
Yeah.
Because, like, and like, this is what bugs me, is like, Robert Jordan won't even get to the end of the chapter without having to go, the ever-victorious army suffered a devastating defeat at the hands of the Dragon Reborn. And, like, I'm like, but, like, let us sit in the loss for a second without having to have a character literally spell out that Rand won.
Yeah, I agree. I think
in text.
Yeah, I think it could have been handled a little bit differently, but, yeah, a bunch of people are dead.
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm curious. I'm going to look. Who do we have? Elada is chapter 25.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So we get a total shift.
Cat Swain lost this fight. I agree with Yasmin. Cat Swain lost. Wheel Up Time says Rand lost to Do My Wells. He very much did not.
Yeah.
Rand transitioned from being in a box to being King of Ilion within a book. Like, he did not lose Do My Wells.
Yeah.
You might think so, but he did not. This is more like a draw. Sure, this is more like a draw.
Yeah, I think like both sides lose. I just wish that Robert Jordan had let us sit with the idea that maybe like the Siuan were
I wouldn't be saying any of this if Rand had walked away with that. It was just that there's literally a tag at the end of this chapter.
Exactly.
Where, like, I've been complaining about the fact that Rand always wins. And then he finally actually is like, oh my god, I've actually lost a fight. In book 8, I lost one fight.
Yeah.
And I lost it a little bit. And then the chapter itself is like...
the mostly victorious army.
The most victorious army. Yeah. I just... It was one of those beats where I was like, I just wish that, like, the next time we see the Siuan and Ebu Dar, Surath was ripping into them for losing.
Yeah.
And that was like 3 chapters from now. I just wish it wasn't immediately after.
Yeah.
Like, so... Yeah. And it's fine. It's not a complaint. I actually thought this moment was great, right?
Yeah.
I think that Rand killing his own people is very dark, and like this is where I'm starting to be like, I don't know how the show does this.
But I came up with an interesting t-shirt idea here, but only if the problem is it would be like a lot of work. Okay. Because they refer to Rand as the Lord of the Morning. And I thought it would be fun to have a t-shirt that said the Lord of the Morning, but spelled with a U, and have the names of all the women that he lists on the back.
I don't know if we get a full list at any point, though.
I don't know if we get a full list either, but I was like, the Lord of the Morning is not
it's
the dawn.
Dark shirt.
It's the morning. I know!
I don't know that I want to own a shirt that just is the names of a bunch of women who died.
I mean, they're fictional.
I know, but I don't know.
I was just saying, like, the whole, like, the Lord of the Morning...
You need a very big shirt.
Yeah. The whole Lord of the Morning play on words really, like, struck me in this section in particular. Because I don't think it means the morning daytime.
Niet says, for Rand, it's both a tactical and strategic victory, but it's also a failure from his POV because he doesn't meet his goal. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. I am still waiting for Rand to actually lose. But Rand advancing on the Siuan for 6 straight days and making them retreat over and over and over again before he drops a nuke on them.
Yeah.
Even if it does take out some of his own people, I think, and like there's an emotional loss there, I am still waiting for Rand to lose a fight. And like you can say like, well, but like metaphorically Rand lost, or from an emotional point of view, Rand lost.
Yeah.
But Rand still has not actually like lost the objectives of a fight in 8 books.
Yeah.
And so from a war perspective, and Kenner Mirage is dead, right? This general who is a legitimately like good general for the Siuan, who had great tactics and actually put up a like winning strategy against Rand, is dead now.
Yeah.
So like I don't know who the next general is. I don't know who is going to beat Rand once.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that it's ever going to be anyone at this point. Like I don't know that Rand ever actually loses anything. And like, yes, he has emotional losses, and yes, he has like, I'm not saying that he has perfect victories every time.
Yeah.
But like, he has yet to go into a fight with a plan that didn't ultimately succeed.
Yeah.
And all of his losses are like these, you have to make an argument for them to be losses.
Yeah.
And I just want him to have a loss where he goes into a fight, he is wrong, he retreats, and he has to learn a lesson from that and come back and fight again another day. And we've never had that.
Yeah.
The lesson Rand learns is, well, on to the next one.
Yeah.
I'm sadder. I'm going to be more broody and sad as I go into the next fight. It's never, what did I fail at that I can do differently next time?
No, I think that Rand learns from a lot of his mistakes. But I also think that Rand is not in a good place right now.
Mauricio says, is Rand supposed to be a general? That is what he's doing.
I mean, he
over
is,
and over and over again. So
like,
yeah,
the leader. He's there.
But he's also like coming up with the plans and executing. Like he's literally the general of this army.
Yeah.
I mean, Bashir is like under him, but like it's Rand's plan, and everyone does what Rand says. So.
Yeah. This one was a weird one. So you think that this section of the book is? I don't think we're gonna get the Siuan in any more of this. I think
do.
this. Oh really? I think this next section might actually be, Egwene and going to Tarvalon, and then
I think she gets to Tarvalon.
I think that the big what is it? Finale of this book is whatever Elaine alluded to about the first explosion.
Oh, okay.
That was left at like a huge cliffhanger, so I feel like that's gonna be
the first explosion on the way to Caemlyn.
Yeah, so whatever that is I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll find out.
Ashandarai says, think of this in terms of the Force in Star Wars. Would Rand winning or losing these battles be a win or a loss in the dark side or light side of the Force? Right, but okay,
everything would be a loss.
But no, go to the original trilogy in Star Wars, right? The entire second movie in the original trilogy, considered to be the greatest sequel to a film of all time, is the Rebels losing every single fight.
Yeah.
Right? Luke and the entire team lose on Hoth, and they're forced to retreat, and they learn from that, and they become better.
Yeah.
Luke goes to Dagobah, and Yoda tells him to go in the cave, and he says, don't bring your weapon, and he brings his weapon into the cave, and he loses in there, right? He then is told, don't go fight Darth Vader on fucking Bespin, and he goes anyway because... on Dagobah. And then he goes to Bespin and he fights Darth Vader and he loses. He loses his hand. He finds out that Darth Vader is his father. Spoiler alert. And he is literally, he spends the end of that movie hanging from a thing, hoping that his sister comes and gets him. Sorry, spoiler for Star Wars. When we see Luke next, at the beginning of Return of the Jedi, he is a different man because he faced loss and he faced tragedy and he grew from that. Rand al'Thor could use an Empire Strikes Back. I would love for the next book to be an Empire Strikes Back, because that's not where he's at in this one.
Well, but I think this moment could end up being that because he thinks he's lost. He thinks he fucked up.
But thinking that you've lost and losing aren't the same thing.
I think that
Rand doesn't. There's no lesson for Rand here. Because even in his loss, the reason why he loses is because he loses control of the power because something's going on with it.
Yeah,
he's isn't cocky. His tactic. It is not Rand's tactics. It is not Rand's choices. It is that something happens that he doesn't understand and isn't in control of.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with you there.
What lesson do you learn from that?
If you think that you lose, well, I think that thinking that you lose is more important than whether or not you actually lose because of the emotional repercussions.
But you don't learn from emotional repercussions. You learn from lessons.
Yes, you do.
Okay, what is the lesson that Rand can take away from this battle?
That he got cocky. He pushed his advantage too far when he knew that there was something off.
But that's not why he lost.
And people died. Yes.
No, it's not. He doesn't. It's because Saidin did something that they think is impossible.
Yes, he died because he kept pushing.
But that's not Rand's fault.
We're retreating.
That's not Rand's fault.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be his fault. He made the call to go after Abu Dar. He made the call to keep going when Bashir said not to. Yeah. And whoever else was like, yeah, maybe not. And he's like, no, I'm the fucking Dragon Reborn, bitch. Come at me. He's like, he got cocky and people died because of that.
But, okay, sure. In this one fight,
Yeah.
But we are 8 books in, and we have yet to have a moment where Rand's choices, where Rand's strategy and choices are the reason that he loses. He loses an emotional victory here because Saidin is being funky. That is not, but that's not about him. That's about some magic weirdness bullshit. That's hand wavy.
But it's still his choices.
Kind of.
It is. He pulled out Kalendor.
No, because
he was like, something feels off here, but I'm still gonna do it anyway.
But his agency is taken away from him in that moment.
I don't think so. He's the one who made the
choice.
choice.
What do you mean? Saidin takes his agency away. He does not actively choose to do that.
He knows that there's something wrong, and yet he decides to pull out a nuclear bomb anyways.
Sure. But that's still not his choices. I'm saying that and this should have happened a long time ago. We should be way past this point for him as a character. But Rand needs, and it's probably too late in the story now for it to actually happen because every fight is on such a grand scale.
Yeah, everything's larger than life.
Rand as a character has never functionally, strategically lost anything. He's never made a bad decision. He's never had a tactical loss in 8 books.
Well, I mean,
you can argue for all of the emotional losses that you want. They exist because Rand is a broody, sad boy who doesn't know how to deal with his emotions. But he has never had a tactical loss in 8 books.
Tactically, he lost
every
against
time.
Raven.
How?
Because Raven had traps set up for him that Rand didn't even know about. And Rand had to balefire him to,
and
save
he won.
his friend.
Raven's dead.
Yeah.
And Rand won. And none of his friends died because of it.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
that's not a tactical loss. That's a tactical victory. Again.
No, he won because he's just the most powerful, not because he was the best, tactical.
But that's my point. If in terms of storytelling, Rand keeps winning for that reason. Every time. Mm-hmm. There is some magical bullshit that happens at the end of it that lets Rand win. And I would love for this series to have a moment where any of our main characters lose.
Yeah, that's why I wish that we didn't have the Siuan tag at the end of this chapter. Because I think it would have been more effective to get that later.
Not a Dark Friend says, Nerdy, remember that you're at about halfway point of a series similar to book 5. Dude, we are 2 million words. The halfway point of this series is over 2 million words in.
Yeah. Arazu, thank you for that super chat. He lost because his decision to keep going despite advice against it, because of his hubris. I'm with Claris. I think that
and I'm not arguing with that. Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't have an emotional loss here. I am just saying that after 8 books of the main characters, we're reading a war series where none of our main characters ever feel like they're in danger. And I don't find the war scenes very interesting because no one that I know is ever in danger. I'm never worried about anybody.
Okay.
And so I'm just at a point where I don't really care that Kenna Mirage died because I met him this chapter.
Yeah.
Nobody that I know the name of. I had to make up the name of the Ashaman that died in Dumai's Wells.
Yeah.
2 Ashaman died in this chapter.
Yeah.
What were their names? I don't know. And so I'm just getting to a point where we are 8 books into a series about this giant war, and Moraine maybe is dead, but also maybe isn't.
Yeah. Rantelmore, thank you as well for that super chat.
I'm with Claris. Emotional losses count just as much. Rand chooses wrath, and we see how that affects him. Sure. I just think 8 books in.
I agree with you there. I think that Rand not having none of our main characters dying in a war scenario does seem a little bit convenient.
In the 3 books of The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf dies.
Yeah.
He comes back, but Gandalf dies, and it's an emotional moment that changes the party because the death matters to them. Boromir then dies.
Yeah.
It's an emotional moment that splits the party up.
Yeah.
Literally, it functionally changes them. And then we get. There are important leaders of the elves who die at Helm's Deep. Theoden dies.
Yeah.
You have characters who matter to our main characters who keep dying. The Wheel of Time keeps being I'm so sad that woman whose name I'm going to learn now because she died is dead.
Yeah.
And I just think that I'm a little bit worried that by the end of this book I'm going to be, because I'm Ken Swain makes it to the epilogue, because I think that anyone who I think is even a tertiary character.
Yeah.
Never really in danger.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I think we've talked about that.
Fucking Merriman won't die.
In previous sections where it does feel like we have a little bit of hero shields. Yeah, Moraine wasn't even part of a battle. Moraine was like a prophecy thing. Like, I think that like in
Leah
war,
fucking survived in fucking Shadar Lagoth for 2 weeks with no food.
I don't know how she did that still.
She didn't leave.
Meow.
I'm still bothered about the fact that Leah was alive, because what was she eating? There's not even like rats in Shadar Lagoth.
I have no idea.
You don't survive 2 weeks with no water or food.
Maybe she had rations on her. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's
I don't know. I think there would be a way to make me there would be a way to have some character losses that make me feel like battles have consequences that aren't just, oh no, Rand is going to continue to be sad. But like Rand can't and here's my problem with the emotional loss here. Rand can't be more sad than he's been. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, because we have the conversation with Cadsuane and Sulin where they're like, Rand needs to be able to smile and laugh.
But we've already been like Rand can't be more depressed. We've already hit rock bottom. And so if we're just going to keep hitting rock bottom and just there isn't another level of his depression unless Rand like tries to kill himself, which I don't think this series is going to do.
No, I don't think
We've kind of already been sitting at the bottom of that. So like what is the emotional loss? What does this do for Rand? What is the emotional loss here? What is he going to brood more? Oh, fuck, like we're there. We've been living at brooding. We're already at the point Rand is like, I can't enter the country of Andor after Elaine's there because I can't be around her. I can't love Aviendha because I'm sad boy. Like we're there already. And so like the emotional loss here doesn't mean anything to me because I don't think it can change Rand because he can't be sadder. And that's frustrating to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I found chapter 22 through 24 frustrating, and I don't know. It just does. It didn't work for me. I didn't like it very much, and I just don't get the point of it. It doesn't do anything for Rand's storyline. I guess like Davram Bashir doesn't trust him anymore. That's kind of it. Something's wrong with Saidin. That's kind of it. The Siuan did lose. Kenna Mirage is gone. We know now that High Lady Sardoth knows about the Ashman, but that kind of feels like, okay, yeah. Rand's still going to be a sad boy who's brooding all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything about him. I don't know anything about Rand now that I didn't know before this fight. I don't know anything about Bashir. I don't, like... And the fog of war was so much that I didn't even get to enjoy the battle of it. I didn't even get to enjoy the strategy of it. There's a couple of cool moments, but, like, this was the first time... This was the first battle in all of Robert Jordan's battles where I walked away from it going, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks. Because, like, honestly, like, ever since book 1, when they ride down that hill, and I was like, the battles are the best parts of these books. Ever since then, the Emmons Field battle, Dumai's Wells, every single one, I've been like, this is fucking incredible. And then this one, I just kind of, honestly, and I want to be honest with you guys, I don't want to just, like, love everything, right?
Yeah.
But this was the first time I walked away from it being like, I did not get much out of that. And it just felt like a repetition of things that we've done with Rand before. And like, yeah, he's going to be more sad. Okay. Yeah, moving on.
I don't agree with you.
Reza Kasha Fapor, nerdy Rand can't be sad or us. Read and find out.
Thank you for the super chat.
Great.
We will read and find out.
So Rand is just going to be more broody. That hasn't been happening for 3 books.
Well, I'm hopeful that like Cadsuane and that's Sulin. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm hoping
not Sulin. Sulin's with Perrin.
Sorry. Soralia. I'm hoping that the two of them are able to succeed and bringing the humanity back out of Rand.
Michael Kioski says, I also wanted Rand to lose, but Kentucky is too solidly red.
Jesus Christ.
Someone says, Branthel Moore says, I wonder how, if y'all would process certain things differently if you're reading at your own pace. Yeah, maybe stopping here is the mistake. Like, maybe the next chapter answers a lot of these questions, and so that might be part of it. Like, you're meant to just dive into the next chapter right away.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't go into any fights anymore worried about anybody, and so I'm just kind of like, I'm waiting for a battle to just go in a surprising direction. And like, They're just not. It's a war thing where our main characters are interminably fine.
Yeah.
Rand fucking got a mortal wound, woke up from it, and went and killed the Forsaken the same day.
Yeah.
Like, our main characters are interminably fine.
Yeah.
To the point where even their losses, like Rand, like, oh my god, I'm so weak, I can barely walk. I'm gonna go kill one of the leaders of the armies of the devil on the same day that I woke up from a wound that should have killed a normal man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baka Karn, thank you for that super chat. We shall see if Nerdy thinks he was wrong here. We shall see.
Turvok, thank you for that super chat. The
thank
longtime fans love the books in spite of the faults, but still acknowledge the faults of the series. I still love the books. I thought the Egwene stuff, this section, and I want to get back to good stuff because I feel like I've complained enough. The Egwene section of this reading, fucking incredible. I went from being like, fuck Egwene at the beginning of it to when she makes the turn and she finally like is the Emerald seat.
Yeah.
We'll get to my high, but like, spoiler alert, it's fucking Egwene's moment in front of the council was awesome.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Because the political side, I'm not sitting there going, why is everyone surviving? I'm sitting there going, this is great.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into high-low?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I feel like, did I go too far?
It's fine. I just, I have nothing to contribute.
It's just how I feel.
I don't agree with you, so I'm like, okay.
Well, then you have plenty to disagree with me.
I already said it all.
Okay.
I said what I agreed with and what I didn't agree with, and
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have all the information, right? You know, we still have some book left, so we'll see how it goes.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Is there a chance that Rand's sickness has to do with the two wounds on him fighting each other?
Oh, maybe.
Because they're both tainted with the dark side and Shadar Logoth's dark side.
Yeah, they're like two evils.
Could it be that those two evils fighting each other are making him sick? And that Nynaeve has to heal him?
Maybe.
Because if anyone's going to heal him, it's Nynaeve.
It'll be Nynaeve. Yeah. I still think that, I do think the taint is going to be healed. Darrow, thank you for that super chat. Sadness is one thing, but I think this is the first inkling of actual dangerous madness we have seen. Yeah, I think that Rand loses it a little bit. He's like, Saidin
I don't know about that. He did he did actively consider breaking the seal on the Dark One's prison a book and a half ago. That was the first time where I was like,
you know what? Yeah,
fuck.
That moment was a little bit worrisome. I think that's fair.
In I can't remember if it's book 2 or 3. He kills a bunch of dogs because he thinks that they're the devil.
No, he kills a bunch of dark hounds. Those were not dogs. Those were dark hounds.
Oh, I thought he thought that they were dark hounds, but then when they come across them later, they were just normal dogs. He literally kills people, 6 books ago, he killed people and lined up their bodies with their heads cut off.
Yeah.
Just for being on the side of the road. Rand has been dangerously mad for a while now.
Was that book 2 or was that book 3?
That was 5 books ago, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he's suddenly mad. He's been mad the whole time.
You know, there have been signs, but this point in time was definitely a big thing.
But even then, it's because of Saidin. It's not because he's mad. Because the same thing happens to literally everybody else, including the women. Yeah, it's not about Rand. No, it's about the bigger thing.
But the choices that he made are because he's not in the right mind.
Sure.
Yeah. Would you like to explain high-low to our friends?
Yeah, high-low is sorry, this went away at the end. Guys, I just gotta be honest. We're gonna get through the whole series, but I'm gonna be honest about how I feel about it the whole way through.
Yeah. And stopping at certain points also does give us a different perspective. So
also listening to this, maybe if I'd read it first, it would have been differently. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
The way that my family would sit down when I was younger is we'd sit down for dinner. And we would do high and low. We would do highs to celebrate each other's highs, to be there for each other in victory. But we'd also say our lows so that we could commiserate over the things that were wrong and, occasionally offer solutions to our problems. And it brought us together as a family.
Yeah.
I got 2 stepsisters and a stepdad, and sometimes, that can be a little tough. So high-low was one of those things that gelled us together. We start with Clarissa's high, and then my low, and then Clarissa's low, and then my high so that we complement Sandwich. Ms. Bish.
Perfect. If you have a high-low, please feel free to leave it in chat or as well in the Discord. Sometimes that's fun for people to drop those in the Discord and we have a discussion about what we liked or disliked about the section. My high of the section was Alice, actually.
Interesting. Not expected.
I know. There were so many big, like, grand things in this section. And I do want to, give, like, what's that? A reward of acknowledgement. The special recognition award.
Yeah,
to, like,
that award.
Well, when you're like, you didn't win, but, we just want to say, like, you also did good.
You would call that a special recognition?
What? There's a word for it.
I mean, there's a bunch of different words for it.
Honorable mentions. That's the term that I'm looking for. I want to throw an honorable mention to Bashir, obviously, who's the GOAT. But Alice, Alice, however you want to say it, is wonderful and incredible, and I cannot wait for like her and Nynaeve to be alone. Like, I think that they can learn so much from one another. Mm-hmm. So I'm highly anticipating that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your low?
It's tough. Honestly, because originally my low was going to be how Egwene was letting everyone walk all over her, but then once the plan is revealed, I was like, oh, this is really actually, that was great.
Yeah.
So my low is probably, I mean, just the battle. It just doesn't work for me.
That's fair.
Yeah. I've said enough. I'm not going to keep going. I think I've probably gone on too long. This is a 3 hour and 50-minute podcast right now, so I'm sorry. I hope that y'all stuck with it. I'm sorry this was longer, and I'm sorry I complained so much. But I had to get that off my chest because this was first. It was just the first time where I didn't love a battle sequence in this book.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we're past the halfway point now, and I want the stakes to get raised, and I just didn't feel like it raised the stakes. I felt like it was more of the same.
Fair enough.
And yeah, what's your low?
My low is Weirman. I hate that motherfucker so much.
He's gonna make it all the way to Target.
I know he is, and I fucking, oh my god, awful. I hate him. Yeah, that's my low. What's your high?
Egwene. Egwene and Siuan's manipulation of the act of war, I just thought was fucking rad. I thought it was so good. Because Egwene's been a real up and down for me. But it's been 4 books since Fires of Heaven where I did not like her at all, and I put her in the F category of my Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this was just really fun. I really loved the way that the way Egwene was handled here.
Yeah.
I loved the way her and Siuan and Takima's interaction. I thought it was so fucking cool, and I'm beginning to really enjoy the politics of Saladar. Mm-hmm. I still feel like it would be better if I knew what Ramonda and Lelane's point of views were. I'm still kind of waiting to know what she's pushing against.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
Fly. Yeah.
They're both kind of generically against one another in ways I don't understand.
Yeah.
So I wish I knew what their points of views were a little bit stronger, but Egwene's point of view is very clear to me. And I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, we should once we're finished with this book, we should make another rankings list that we put out over December sometime. The tier list for characters.
See, Army says the reason Rand is not losing is because you're not realizing when he's losing. Again, I agree that he's suffering emotional losses. I want to be very clear about this. He is suffering emotional losses. He has not had a tactical loss in all 8 books. That is just what I'm saying. I don't think I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But that bothers me.
Yeah. He has all the smartest people, I guess, in charge of his army, except Weirman.
Yeah.
And Matt also has a lot of magic information from his memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish that Sulin had died valiantly in battle. But seriously.
No.
I know, but just something to give stakes. Yeah. I wish that Moiraine had died in a battle and not just in a weird moment where Rand doesn't even have time to process.
She's yes, it's my time.
Because he has to go fight Raven 5 seconds later. Yeah. The best moment in this whole series for battles is when Robin kills his friends, but then magic undoes that.
Yeah.
It's
Yep. That's the high-low. Yeah. If you're not part of the Discord, what are you doing? Come and hang out. Come talk about Wheel of Time with us, and
Yeah, come join the Discord. This is our last chance of the day to tell you that this podcast is brought to you by Audible. Mm-hmm. Audible is a service that lets you listen to the corpses of trees as they're read aloud by very famous people or people who are not very famous and should get paid more because voice actors do not get paid enough. Audible is an incredible service, though. We appreciate them. And if you want a free month of Audible and a free audiobook, go to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly.
Let's go.
And Clarus. Follow this woman around the internet at Clarus Plaris.
That's me, honey.
Follow this woman around the internet at nerdynightly. And like this video, subscribe, do all that shit, dislike the button, leave mean comments. There's gonna be so many mean comments on this video of like, Nerdy doesn't understand anything, he's a fucking idiot, his wife is so smart and she's so beautiful and everyone should just agree with her all the time because she's the fucking greatest and Nerdy sucks and Nerdy should know that nobody likes his opinions and the only reason that Nerdy has an audience is because of his wife and like, he's just kind of a piece of shit, but we like Clarus.
Someone's gonna type out that comment exactly.
We all love Clarus and we all hate Nerdy and we're just gonna type that on every video.
Stop it.
3 fucking years.
Stop it. Blue, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Oh my god. Blue's a mad lad today.
I feel like I'm Blue, thank you for the 5. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I found out Kevin Conroy died, and I feel like I haven't been okay today.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I feel like this went off the rails because of me.
No, you're fine.
I'm not fine.
You are not, that's not what I mean.
Perrywolf, thank you
for that super chat.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry. I feel like I've had this has been a rough show for me, and I've been like trying to hold it together, and then I didn't, and then I kind of got depressed.
Sorry.
All
right, we're gonna let you guys go with a little bit of smut here. I think that because it's. This is who we are. You know why you're here. So we're going to send you off.
So we're going to send you off with a little bit of smut.
We're going to send you off with a little bit of smut. You know, Elaine and Avienda rooming together. They're learning some tricks.
Yeah.
Which is why
brushing each other's hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else do you do with a hairbrush?
Yeah.
When you're a teenage girl.
Nobody used no. This you do.
You shove it in your.
All right. The Cats bit was Cats was great. We're gonna have to write that musical. But yeah, that's why I wrote down that Robert Jordan does.
Taviran can and Taviran do. Taviran can and Taviran do. Taviran can, Taviran do. Taviran songs for Jellicle Cats. No. But there's more smut. We haven't gotten to all the smut yet.
Oh, okay. What else?
Alil and Island, or whatever their fucking names are. Those two are supposed to hate each other, but they can't get away from each other. I think they're having hot, steamy, lesbian, like hate sex in between battles to get rid of some of the tension.
Bran brought us here to die, so these 5 days, we're just gonna make them count. You know?
Oh, yeah. The relationship between Egwene and Siuan, like, I feel like Egwene and Siuan are just, like, spending so much time together. Like, so much time together. And she's like, I'm going to tell Gareth Bryan.
No, Siuan is way older.
And Siuan is like, no. But Siuan is like, you can't.
Yeah,
and she's like, you have too much sexual tension. And Siuan's like, well, help me release it. And then Egwene and Siuan are doing the, like, you know, a little bit of the cunnilingus. They're getting Siuan's tension out so that she doesn't act as weird around Gareth Bryan. And
right, of course.
Well, and Moraine's dead. So, like, Siuan's lover's gone. And I just feel like...
So sad.
Siuan is a bisexual icon.
That's, valid.
Yeah. Siuan is a bisexual icon. Bye, guys.